G'day everybody, welcome back to the second series tonight, QG versus Flash Gaming. After an absolute powerhouse of a Series 1, let's see if Series 2 can live up to it. I am Everyday Caster, here with me as always is Yulwei.
Hello.
How are you going into the second series, man?
Yeah, I'm still living in the first series. That was such a great experience. But yeah, this second series should still deliver. I like to see Team Flash perform. I would like to see if they can challenge for first place still, because if they go 2-0 here, they will tie Loki at the top of the standings.
Yeah, I mean that'll be obviously a very big thing for them. DBL losing in our first series here actually has opened up the top of the table quite a lot, made it very interesting.
Yeah, it's super interesting for the league. I think it's very good for the league as well, and might actually even be good for DBL. Losing in the regular season, they can review the games, look at they can maybe improve on one or two things, and then come back stronger for players. I think it's super good for the league. It makes the league so much more interesting. They finished 13-1 in spring, and no one really thought anyone could beat them in a best of 5. So the league was a little bit boring in terms of who will actually win. This time around, much more open.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting in that as even ignoring the benefits you outlined for the league as a whole, it's good for DBL because they show that they're not immortal. They do need just to keep their practice up, and they need to play well. So I don't think they played particularly, especially in Game 3, I don't think they played very well.
No.
So hopefully that kind of gets them to buck up their ideals. We're going to have to resync in Champ Select because my stream just froze. But we can deal with that when we get there.
Yeah, and what I don't think we can expect quite the same spiciness in Champion Select like in the first series, because we saw some very interesting stuff. First Silas support game all around the world, I would guess. I don't know if any regional league has played him yet, but yeah, the first in the major league at least. I've not seen any Silas support picked up anywhere else, and they won the game with it. We saw Heimerdinger once again being successful.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an incredibly spicy draft phase in all 3 games. Karma, no presence in 3 games. Not banned, not picked.
I mean, I guess VCS has to always leave out at least one OP champ, because at least we have finally caught up with Yumi and Lux support being absolutely broken. So now we have to leave out the Karma, because there can never be 3 shielding supports being strong. Or Yumi is not a shielding support, but enchanting supports, I guess. So.
Yeah, I mean, hey, how long till we see some Lulu?
Lulu is still.
I don't think.
Yeah, her power level is not as high. Her lane control is not strong enough. Lulu in the late game, obviously a powerhouse, and very famous for being a solo queue pick for boosting. But
it's true. Her and Hecarim, ultimate boost champs. But anyway, going into this second series here, QTV definitely they have some interesting things going on, I think, or QG, whichever they decide to go by on a day. Because I think QG stands for QTV Gaming, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So I think either is fine, right? But their jerseys have QG on there, so we might just as well call them QG as well. Whatever. It doesn't really matter, I think. Both are correct.
Yeah, I think the player to watch from QG is Hero. I think he's been a super impressive top laner. He had that one Vladimir game where he really impressed. It's going to be interesting to see how he does here against a very high caliber team. But, I mean, I hope he impresses. I think he's really good.
Yeah, and on the other side, we have Slater. Was Slater actually in?
Yeah, Slater's in.
Yeah, that's super great to see. So Slater back in the lineup, the best ADC in the VCS by far, I have to say. I personally think Slater is quite a little bit better than everyone else. And then Yijin is the other player to watch, in my opinion, on Team Flash. Has made the transition over from from EVOS before, and so far had a super good split. One of our top 2 junglers for the first 2 weeks. Yeah,
absolutely.
Overall, I think Team Flash has a very deep roster in terms of players. The only weak link, I think, is Taurus on the top lane. Not the strongest top laner, and maybe a point of contention for QTV Gaming. Might be able to play through Hero there.
Yeah, possibly. I think it is good when your potential power player matches up with a weakness of the other team. It can potentially let you overwhelm teams that you are statistically worse than, if you can snowball based on that. But we don't know yet. We'll have to see. Into the bans, though, pretty standard looking overall. The only sort of non-standard ban is that Syndra, but that's a pretty obvious target at Optimus. He's really, really liked the Syndra and he's played very well on it. Not too surprised to see that taken out. Everything else, pretty stock standard.
Oh, the Rice ban is a
Akali,
little bit different as well, right? Because the Rice, I mean, Genza had a good Rice performance, if I remember correctly, but the Rice ban overall not really touted as one of the power picks in this patch, and Akali has fallen to third ban, and Sejuani and Karma are not even banned. Karma once again, what happened in scrims in VCS, with VCS teams, with Karma? Ah, there she is. Thank you, Team Flash.
yeah, we need to rethink, by the way, because you are ahead of me. But
yeah, I'll stop at
Aatrox,
20 for Team Flash, so you can catch up.
So 21-20.
Okay, sorry for that. So we should be in sync
Sorry
again.
about that, everyone. That's my fault there. But yeah, Karma being picked up. Finally, we see some priority. Could we see it? Or, whoa, okay, whoa. Yeah, we're just scrolling through champions, but
Yeah,
Skarner
that's the right answer. That's the right. Oh, Karma Sejuani. Is this actually VCS we're watching? I'm not sure.
I don't know. It looks like it's a real region for a moment with the drafts. Like, not to say that VCS isn't a real region, but their drafts are a little bit crazy.
Their drafts tend to be a little bit off sometimes. But yeah, we get Karma Sejuani.
Well. This is looking like this is a good draft so far. Like, interesting. The bans were a little bit interesting with Karma making it through and Sejuani making it through, but the response, no weird picks so far. This is looking like a good meta read from both teams.
Yeah, and QG had a really big problem there. They thought about picking up Irelia, but Irelia would mean 3 AD topside champs, which damage profile, buzzword, damage profile is not great. So they had to give over the Irelia to the other side, which Team Flash loves, because look at Team Flash's draft so far. They are red side and got 3 first pick worthy champions on the red side draft. That's already a super big win.
Absolutely. This is a huge win here for Flash. Getting that Irelia. This is still very flexible. Both of these champions, obviously Sejuani will be in the jungle, but the other two could still switch around.
Oh, you never know. We have seen a Sejuani support as well. Which league played Sejuani support?
LCK.
Yeah, LCK as well. Yeah, LCK is just going experimenting a lot in the last few days.
Let's see if there's a certain bear being brought out. As my stream. Sorry, something is very wrong with my internet. As my stream's just frozen again. Let me fix this for a moment. Sorry. I can't see what's happening champion select, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. I'll cover the rest. So we have Vladimir ban against Hero. He has Vladimir was his most played champ, so no surprise there. Good scouting from Flash. And they can now look at the very certain Aatrox top lane, I think. Genza will probably go for something else in the mid lane there. Nico is banned away already, so no very apparent top lane mage. Cannon is still open. We saw a little bit of Cannon the first 2 years, was not very successful there. Wait, what?
Whoa, he is enabled.
Wait, this is...
Whoa, hello.
Wait, I'm completely taken aback. He was enabled all the time? Are you serious?
He's been enabled this whole time? What?
Wait a moment.
What?
He's
been enabled this whole time and no one's even... Did they think he was disabled?
I'm not sure. But that's a Mordekaiser ban.
If anyone from the Discord knows the story with Mordekaiser here, can you please tell us? Because if he's been enabled and has gone through 3 series without any presence...
Without even being hovered, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's why we assumed he was disabled.
No, Yuumi is the right answer.
I think Yuumi is definitely the right answer.
Oh, not Rakan. Not Rakan. Yuumi.
Don't pick a Rakan into Lux. That's such a bad idea.
Thank you. That's
Yuumi is
correct.
Can we quickly resync just on this pick? Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, Yuumi is just locked in, so I'll stop at 20 for Flash if we get to Flash.
Okay, I'm actually a little bit ahead of you. Actually, I
okay.
think we're okay. We should be
Okay.
fine. I'm at 15, 14, 13.
Okay, you're still 3 seconds ahead or something.
Okay, so I'll pause
12,
at 5.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7.
5?
Yeah.
4?
Oh, no, I'm ahead again. But this is super interesting because this is one of the picks I wrote down in the patch summary because Tristana got a little bit of a buff, and the buff was especially for all ins in lane. And this is very interesting into Yumi lane because I need to look at my notes here because I wrote down a lot of notes on the patch, but I think especially the damage from W got buffed. Yeah, 10 damage more on W damage on all the levels. So level 1 W damage is now at 95, which is quite
That's a lot.
significant. Yeah, that's. Imagine the possibility for level 2 all in with Lux Q hitting and then W with 100 base damage basically, jumping on top of them. That's
Yep.
a lot
The
of damage
Goomba
coming
Stomp
on.
is real.
Yeah,
This is
I did not really anticipate to see Tristana, but Slater bringing out the Tristana, a little bit of reckless flair here.
Tristana is one of my favorite champions in the game, just for the record. I love Tristana.
Just look at the
So I'm so
composition.
happy.
This is
Yeah, I
Slater,
mean,
carry us, please.
yep, exactly. Slater carry us. We'll put Taurus in a side lane as well to draw some pressure. But Slater is so set up to carry, and I think that's a great choice from Flash. He's so good.
Yep, I think that's exactly what they can do with this ADC. Yeah, and the Karma in the backhand in the mid lane, I think this fits Optimus' playstyle super great because he has played a lot of supportive champions, even hitting the mid lane Zillion for one game. So yeah, just in the wheelhouse for Optimus supporting his ADC and the star ADC coming back in after a little bit of a hiatus. Bot lane was subbed out for Artemis.
Yep,
Super
but I think
great. Grateful for
it
Slater to
looked
be
much
back in.
better.
And look at
It
the
looked much
summoner
better.
spells. They even go a step farther. They go, okay, Slater is our main carry, so Slater, you go barrier and heal on CBL, so doubles defensive summoners in the bot lane. That's very hard to kill.
Also,
That's super hard to kill.
yeah, absolutely. But looking back on the QG side, no teleport in a Yumi lane.
Yeah.
Very interesting there. They've got the triple combat summoners, so they still are a combat summoner up. So potentially the all-ins are going to be super dangerous. Exhaust as well on Zodiac, which is standard for Yumi, obviously. But
I actually don't like the exhaust choice this game. I don't think there's anything you need to exhaust in the later stages of the game. So going
Aurelia,
TP,
maybe?
yeah, it's okay on against Aurelia, but it's not necessary. And I think TP would give them more. Go ignite
I
heal on
agree.
Yumi and go TP on your ADC. I think that would have been the better choice overall.
I agree.
This is
I
very lane
think they are
focused.
just worried about. I think that, yeah, exactly. I think this is purely for lane, and I think, as you pointed out, Tristana's got some pretty potent all-ins, but being a combat summoner down might give Slater and CBL some pause. So it will depend how they go. No pun intended on Yumi there.
Yeah, but so far Slater and CBL have been the best bot lane probably in this VCS and have shown many great performances. So I expect them to at least go even out of lane. They might look for an early all-in, and if they don't succeed, just farm out with the Tristana, go for early turret focus as well, and then use her late game power.
I mean, yeah, Tristana scales so well as well. Can absolutely hyper carry, especially with as we were saying in Champ Select, with a Karma and a Sejuani to protect him. This is going to be a very difficult Tristana to kill in team fights. Also worth noting, just as we do obviously have different options when you play a Jarvan, he has gone Conqueror, so probably moving towards Cinderhulk rather than a Warrior Jarvan, and I think that's the correct decision.
Yeah, the more overall, the stronger overall build, less spiky, more consistent, more mirroring the enemy jungler and being a tank. So I like this choice as well. Still a lot of early game competence with the Conqueror being stacked up pretty fast on the Jarvan as well. So yeah, overall I prefer this Jarvan build. I still think there's a place for the other Electrocute AD Jarvan as
Oh,
well.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
good overall
Uh,
choice.
yeah, I think it's important in this game as well because otherwise they will be a little bit lacking with the front line.
Yeah.
If he was a more squishy Jarvan. But as you said, definitely a place in the game. All about Jarvan. Don't worry, solo queue heroes. You're not inting if you do build a damaged Jarvan. It's just not the correct choice for this game.
Yeah.
Looking down at the bot lane, we're seeing a Yuumi lane pushed in. Never like to see that, do we?
Nah, but it's against Lux, and Lux is one of the hardest matchups for Yuumi, so it's to be expected. To be fair, Yuumi has traded very well on this lane so far. And it's also Tristana, and Tristana always pushes, right? Because of her E passive and E active as well. So both parts of the explosive charge will push for you. And I think they so far have utilized the push very well as well, not missing too many creeps, which sometimes happens with Tristana players as well. It's actually not too easy to coordinate the creeping in the early game.
I remember back in the day where you were straight up inting if you leveled your E before level 5, before it had the active part, because all you would do is push your lane and get ganked.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's the first game. Wow, how did that hit?
In, Optimus gets knocked up. He didn't flash it. This is really bad. This is probably first blood here. He flashes, but it's not going to be good enough. There's no answering kill either. We go straight up to the top lane where there's a bit of a rumble, but it's not going to come into anything. Optimus flashing way too late.
But I think, yeah, okay, he flashed too late, but I really didn't see the knock-up it either, so I think fair play to him. That was a little bit of a weird interaction there.
Yeah,
J4.
This patch has a... Unsure if it's a bug or just unintentional, like just part of the thing. Basically, a few champions were given a very minor range increase to knockups and stuff, one of them being Jarvan.
Oh.
It was literally like 3 units.
Yeah, but look at this. This does not look like it lands.
Exactly.
Look, what is that connection? Okay, I really can't blame Optimus here.
Yeah, looking at that, fair enough that he didn't flash. That didn't look like it was going to hit. But as I was saying, I think it is a bug, but it's like not major enough to hotfix where they gave a little bit too much range. It was meant to be Jarvan was actually hitting a little bit short of the visual, so they wanted to give him a tiny bit of range just so it matched the visual, but they gave him too much.
Yeah, they overly compensated. Okay, yeah, interesting.
Yeah. And I think there's a couple of champions it's affected, but Jarvan's the only one that's meta.
It might be the first time that it actually has become relevant in pro play. A very big thing there, because Karma definitely had the opportunity to react to the gank and didn't see it coming, as didn't I. So very unfair disadvantage now to Optimus from his view, because he didn't do anything wrong there. Used his flash, used his ignite, but at least Genza had to use both of his summoners as well, and didn't get the kill in the end.
Yeah, that is a blessing for Optimus. That since Corki didn't get the kill, this is probably still a lane that Karma should have priority in most of the time.
Yeah,
Corki will be able to farm and play it safe, but Karma can just shovel there.
Yeah, especially with J4, as you rightly predicted, going for the Syndalk route. The first kill on J4 actually doesn't do that much for QG's early game. Usually an early kill on J4 can actually go a long way and carry the early game for the team, but with early Cinderhulk in the making there, not too much skirmishing power coming on in for Seal.
Absolutely. And it's going to be interesting to see where the next points of play are. I think both teams are actually pretty happy just chilling out for a little bit, which is interesting because obviously this is the VCS. We normally see games being massively scrapped over in the early game, but I think both of these teams are pretty happy just playing it chill for a little bit.
And the overall trend in the in week 3 so far has been to a little bit of a slower game pace. We have seen many games actually don't go to too many kills until 15 minutes. Obviously, there were 1 or 2 scrappy games still. Oh, very good flash.
Wow, that's a very early level 6 pitch. It's all done. Passed really well.
Yeah, but to come back to the point, I think VCS overall has been a little bit slower. I've not checked the stats so far. So after game week 3, I definitely want to compare stats of week 2 and week 1 to week 3, because I think there has been a significant decrease in terms of kills per minute. At least that's what I feel like.
Yeah, from observational bias, I think you're completely correct. That'd be an interesting stat to check. But I mean, I think that's a good thing for the VCS as a region. Obviously, we love the explosive nature of the region. It's part of the reason it's so much fun to watch. But in terms of improving, slowing down, being a little bit safer is what you want to see.
Yeah, maybe not go for all the 40% plays, only go for the 51% plays would already be a big improvement. So
Exactly.
I like this change a lot. We don't want to see snooze fests, and we have not seen too many. So so far the
We
change
don't want to
hasn't.
see LCK.
No. That being said, LCK has been hyped in the last few days with Volibear
It
support
actually
coming
really
in,
has.
and
Coming back from a lot of the interviews and stuff after Rift Rifle actually says a lot for LCK. They learnt a lot from China, which is good because China's really good. China's really, really good at League of Legends.
looking back a little bit on this game, we have not talked about the actual win conditions so far. And the comps, we have alluded to the win condition for Flash because it's very obvious. Play around Slater, play around team fights, and let him carry the game. But what does
Yep.
QG look at? We have very
I
strong
think
team
late game
fighting as well.
scaling.
Yeah,
But I think they win the late game scaling just because of Corki Zaya. That double ADC is so deadly.
yeah, and those are two very strong late game ADCs as well.
Precisely.
Yeah, I like their scaling as well. I think in the overall 5v5.
It's a very dangerous dragon. Just sorry to cut across here, but
No,
this
no.
could get a bit hype. Ooh, the Zyrolt used to dodge the Sejuani ult. This has all gone wrong here for Flash. Already 2 dead. 3. Slater's not going to get out of here. He's already used his jump. Ooh, never mind. He has his flash. But oh no, that's tragic. 3 kills and the dragon will be going over to QG.
The disaster strikes and the underdog comes out on top with 4-0 in kills, 2k gold lead, and now the first Infernal Drake on top of that. So big swing in the game already to QG. And QG, as you said earlier, probably scale a little bit better. That being said, the scaling is almost even, I would say. Late game, this game might just come down to 5v5s in the late game, constantly ramming their heads into each other. Because those are two 5v5 compositions. But look at this again. Look at the bot lane play. Jisoo
So
stunning.
well
Wow,
played by
that was insanely well done on the Desire there. Perfect positioning. Very well
Also really
coordinated.
good Yumi play.
Yep. I just wanted to
Pointing
touch on
that
that
out.
as well. Yeah, Yumi with a perfect timed ult and very good Q as well. So super good bot lane play. 2 kills for their mid laner. So mid laner is very thankful for that play. All the kills went
Absolutely.
over to mid and jungle. Bot lane is a little bit unhappy with how this has played out because they wanted a few kills for themselves.
Yeah, I mean the jungle. Honestly, the setup there was very sloppy by Flash. There was a control ward in the back of the pit that they just didn't clear out because I think they just thought, oh, we have bot lane prio, we'll be fine. They didn't really have the priority they thought they did, and that's gone really wrong. Corki massively accelerated. He'll have his Trinity Force on next B. No worries. Obviously, it's very cheap to combine the 3 items for the Trinity Force. As well as a Jarvan. Again, we have pointed out that he's going the Cinderholt Jarvan. The kills don't mean quite as much. That prowling projectile actually didn't spot. But it seems they sniff out that there's something going on here anyway, so they're going to go back and get their Krugs. No worries, but we need to see Flash clean up a little bit. That wasn't
Yeah,
good enough.
that was very arrogant. I think they just thought, okay, we are the better team, we had the setup, let's just go for it. They did skip some steps, and yeah, very good punishment for QG there. And QG
Absolutely.
now ahead by 3k at 12 minutes, completely subverting expectations because they are usually down 1.6k gold at 15 minutes. Even in their wins, they were down a considerable amount, especially against GAM in the first week, where they went down almost 2k every game and still came out of top because GAM's coordination was still not there.
Absolutely.
But man, this game is now very hard to play for Flash. Flash has to look for skirmishes to come back into the game. Slater needs at least one item before they can really do anything here. Ooh, did Hero spot that? I don't think that was actually visible.
Oh, yep. Hero might be in some trouble here. Uses the flash instantly. And the ult.
My
That's a bad
God.
Sejuani ult.
Everything
That's not
missed.
good enough.
Everything. Sejuani didn't hit Q. Flawless Duet was not there. Ult from Taurus did not hit. Ult from Sejuani did not hit. My god, that was horrible from Taurus and from Flash in the micro department. They look pretty off today.
Yeah, Flash really not looking good at all. They're going to lose first turret here as well in the mid lane, which is a disaster.
It might not be enough time to finish the turret, but yeah, at least they get 4 platings, extending the gold lead to over 4k now, and almost
Also,
4k.
Aatrox winning lane against an Aurelia.
Yes, we have seen that way too often in the VCS.
And we've alluded to that's a very bad thing, but we did point
My,
out in
oh
like,
man, oh man,
that old atrocious.
that was a comedy of errors. That's going to be in the highlight place for day 2 here.
Our highlights are way more low lights.
Yeah, more low light. I guess they tried to challenge what's his name? Police? No, the other ADC, Divkid on his Varus ult.
Oh, that was. Don't even talk about that. That hurt me. It was so bad. Anyway, hopefully we do see Flash cleaning up because we pointed out in Champ Select that one of the win conditions, maybe not quite win conditions, but points and strength here for QG is that Hero's really good. It's probably the best player on the team.
Oh, Genza has been very good as well. So.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe Genza challenges for that. But regardless, Hero is very good. And Taurus has looked a bit weak. So, you put your strength up against a weakness. Oh, this time they brought a third person to miss skill shots.
Yeah, let's go. At least Aurelia ult is not available, so they can't miss that skill shot. That's very good for them.
Yep, they can't waste Aurelia ult on it. But they need to get going, because the reinforcements will come pretty... Actually, no, there's no one really close.
No,
they need
Corki
to
wants to go for the mid-lane turret.
They can't just sit in bushes forever. This time it all hits, and bang! Hero's dead.
There we
Second
are.
time, everything used ult-wise.
Yeah, that's what was supposed to happen in the first time around as well.
Yep.
But they still lose a lot of... Wow, they will lose this turret. There's no way Slater can def this.
Nope, no way. He needs to back off.
And no turret platings either, so at least they got first turret in the top lane, so a little bit of gold back to Flash, still behind almost 4k gold, so overall the play didn't really work out for them. And they lost another turret in the mid lane, so yeah, now sitting at almost 4k there.
It just took too long. Like, they were just sitting in bushes waiting for Hero to come forward, and Hero
Good
just
play from Hero.
Hero.
Hero did not overextend into the lane, and in the end he still went down, but it was pretty much inevitable for him, because, yeah, what can you do against 3 players camping you? Good cross-map play. And I think overall we have seen QG, once they get out of the early game, they're actually a legit team. They can be quite good, especially with mid-game rotations. They have closed out games before very well. They can teamfight. They only have a little bit of a problem laning against the better teams. Not so much this game, so looks good from now.
Yeah, that Lux skin looks really awkward with Mobius, just by the way, as we were just dwelling on that. She looks like she's pooed herself. Completely off topic, but it just came to mind. It's something to look at if you use Pajama Guardian Lux. If you're moving too fast, it looks like you've had an accident. Regardless, I think you are right. QG, their big, as you say, their big struggle is laning. So to see them come out with a really strong lead, like, let's not undersell. 3k at 16 minutes is huge.
It's 4, almost.
Oh, almost 4k. You are right. Almost 4k. It's much closer to 4 than it is 3. So 4k gold lead at 17 minutes is insane.
Yeah, and looking at the ways Flash can come back into the game, it's still about one big team fight where Slater can pop off with the assistance from Optimus and maybe CBL as well. Look for a good catch on Yijin and follow up with 2-3 kills on Slater to really accelerate him. That's almost the only way they can actually come back into the game, because in terms of pure 5v5 scaling, if everyone is equally fat, I think QG has the big advantage, as you already touched on early on. So, yeah, they have a super fat mid laner. Double ADC.
Scary thing. Yeah, I mean, looking down at the bot lane, it's not looking great for Flash there either. Slater's obviously deathless, which is good, but he's 20 CS down. Looking at the items, he's basically just the boots combined down. So it's not the worst thing ever. He's not too far behind Jisoo. But in the end, I don't think it's the direct matchup between the ADCs that matters here, or rather the bot lane ADCs. It's going to come down to whether or not Slater can navigate around the pretty strong dive that's going to be coming in between Hero and Seal. If he can navigate that, then Flash very much has a chance to perform a comeback in the way you outlined. However, that's not going to be easy. Slater's going to have to really put on his dancing shoes and play very, very well.
Yeah, and even then, Slater is even on items, but it's Zaya against Tristana is the name, yeah, sorry, match up there, and Zaya on 2 items is more effective. She has more utility, more teamfight, zoning as well, so maybe on the pure damage side, Tristana is still a little bit stronger on 2 items. Even that is... I don't
think so.
No, I don't think so either.
I think 3rd item is where Tristana overtakes.
Yeah, and even 3rd item is still close. I think 4th item is where she really overtakes. I think 3 item Zaya is still super strong. So the 3 item Zaya against 3 item Tristana is probably even, and then 4 item Tristana is where she really overtakes the Zaya and hits her super late game state with more range, more mobility, and a lot of attack speed as well with the Q. So she still needs a lot of time, and Flash, I'm not sure if they have the time in the late game. If it's only about ADCs, yeah, QG have 2 of them, so can you really challenge 2 ADCs with just 1 of them? Even if you're Slater, exactly. That's a little bit much, right?
Yeah, I know. Slater's good, but I don't think he's too ADC good. One thing that, of course, we can't... while I do think the ADCs will be very important, just based on how the game's playing out in the comps, we can't ignore the fact that, there is an Aurelia, very good at diving, could potentially disrupt the backline of QG, try and get onto Genza. Jisoo's not a great target because obviously Zaya ult into pressing E kind of blocks down most of what Aurelia wants to do. But
and then followed up by Yuumi ult as well.
Yeah, but it'll depend where Zodiac chooses to position in fights, because I think there is... Obviously, as Yuumi, you kind of want to go with your divers. And there might be a risk that the backline gets a little bit abandoned. We're going to have to see how QG plays it out.
Yeah, I actually think in this game he should focus on Peel, because you have 2 ADCs. You will win every front-to-back team fight just based on your backline damage. So just focus on Peel, keep your 2 ADCs alive, and they will carry the fight. There's no way Slater has the same damage output as 2 enemies. Wow, Yijin.
Oh my god, Yijin. Yijin's having a bad day.
Man, today the Sejuanis, even on very prominent junglers, have not looked great. And yesterday as well. Yesterday, Sorn on the Sejuani looked absolutely atrocious. Now Yijin repeats that performance.
Yep, and this will be the Dragon picked up, but this is Baron. They're starting Baron. This is going to be a 5v5 potentially. I don't know about this. This
Look at the speed. Look at the speed. It's at 6k already.
Yeah, it's
they
melting,
will be able to. Yeah. This is
gone.
They're
gonna get this. Yep, and they should be able to get away as well. No worries. This is huge. QG has come to play. Seal will probably go down. Uses the Cataclysm. Hero gets over the wall. He should be okay as well. The Prowling Projectiles will get a lot of slow and a lot of speed from the Zoomies. I don't think there's much of a chance for a catch here. Baron at 21 minutes for 1 kill.
Super clean, man. Super clean play for QG. Reading the map absolutely perfectly there. Looking at the dragon, okay, it's an Infernal Drake. They will be baited by the Infernal Drake. They want to get the Infernal Drake. So, okay, what can we get? We can either contest the Infernal Drake, which we will probably win, but we could also go for the game-winning play on the Baron call, and they pull it off. Super assertive, super decisive play, and very impressive from one of our newcomer teams.
What's happened to QG in the hiatus? They have come in and they're looking great.
Yeah, I think
they look like the absolute better team today.
Yeah, they look more like their week 1 selves, where they won the game. Of course, I think week 2 they showed a little bit weaker coordination and reading of the map, but yeah, now they look like the very good coordinated, very good team-oriented team they were in the game in week 1. And as long as they can come out of the laning phase, they are a very dangerous team.
Absolutely. We have to see if they can keep this up, but so far they've got such a huge lead. 4.8k, or close enough to 5k. I don't know. Yeah, it's 5 points. Don't do math on air. Just tip to everyone. It's about 6k, something like that.
Yeah,
Lead
it
and
will
the
only
Baron
get bigger.
Exactly. I mean, they're probably not going to be able to crack an inhibitor with this first Baron, just because it was taken so early.
It's
But
still
still,
1.5 minutes on the Baron. If they go for the bot lane push, they might actually be able to at least scrap one inhibitor turret there, because they have double ADC, so the turrets will fall super quick.
once again, you make some very good points. This is why you're the color caster, because you do make a very correct observation. Genza has to burn the cleanse there, but that's okay. 2 ults used. Now they just need a minion wave.
Can we talk about the very ugly magic crits? Why did they change the how magic damage looks like in this patch? I still don't really like what I'm seeing. The blue is not. Well, I'm not a fan.
Bring back the purple. Bring back the purple. What's even worse is I'm colorblind to blue.
Oh, that's unlucky.
So that doesn't. Yeah, no, I can't. I'm blue-red colorblind, so that actually makes it a bit tricky for me. So whatever. We'll be fine.
Yeah, then at least you don't have to deal with the very ugly blue that comes out of Corki there. I mean, Corki's crit animation is already one of the ugliest things in LoL, I think. When he kind of swirls all around and does weird animations to get a crit off, it already looks very clunky. And then the crit is blue. I'm not the biggest fan, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, the grey crits are not the best time either, don't worry. But yeah, overall, I agree. We've had some interesting talks about animations and that in our casts. We've had some giant crystals, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That and real skin.
Yeah, the Braum bringing the diamonds to the rift. Wow, yeah. They just casually walked past each other.
No, yeah, Taurus was just pushed up so far. Absolutely no vision. See you, mate. You can see grey just like I do for a little bit.
Hero just hit the ult there to show off a little bit. Absolutely no reason to utilize the Aatrox ult there, but why not?
He just wants to use it a few more times before it's completely changed again. Actually, I don't think the ult itself is changing. He's just losing the revive.
Yeah, and actually, as much as I can understand the Aatrox main's whining over the change, because he loses a lot of his early identity, I actually think for the champ itself, if you just look at this iteration, it's a good change, because the revived really is not what the champ is about anymore. The revive, you actually want to still avoid going down, even if you're ult triggered. You're just a little bit more safe. But yeah,
I agree. I think in terms of the champ's balance, I think removing the revive is actually a really good decision. The shame is that so much of the flavour of Aatrox is being removed. It's like, I'd almost rather still have Ultrox in the game and just released
I like Ultrox.
Ultrox, yeah, and then just released a new champion that was this current Boris. But, that's okay. Whatever.
Yeah,
I think
they are very different. They are very different. I think you could probably have both champs in the game.
Yeah, I think you absolutely could, especially like pre-rework Aatrox was completely.
Yeah, he was quite strong, and that in the exact patch where he got removed, he was actually picked in pro. So a little bit of a last hurrah there.
I still remember that very infamous game. I think it was when Darian played him on Gambit, where they won the game and then they had to completely replay it because no one had noticed, but there was a bug where Aatrox W was proccing every 2 hits instead of every 3.
Oh. Okay, that's a very, very big
it's a huge
upside.
Deal,
yeah,
but it was. I remember there was quite a bit of controversy around it because people were like, "Well, you didn't notice until after the game."
Yeah, that's very true.
Would you have remade it if he'd lost?
And they won anyway in the end, probably, right? Because they were Gambit, or Moscow 5.
I think they were Gambit by this time, but there was still the M5 core.
Yeah. And that
greatest,
was a very good team.
God, I love them. I was such a huge Moscow 5 stan. Alex Ich is still my favourite player ever, except for Dyrus. Dyrus is my favourite. Alex Ich. Anyway, back onto this game. We have hit a bit of a lull, as you can tell by us talking about whatever comes to mind.
Yeah, I mean, this is just QG slowly closing out the game. They have now secured another Mountain Drake, so this next Baron will be even easier than the first one. Flash will probably not get baited in as much as before, but look at the items on the ADCs. We have talked about the ADCs in this game, and now 3 item power spikes for both ADCs on QG's side, while 3 items are not even completed on Slater's side. So he's not even stronger than 1 ADC on the other side. So yeah, that's not a great look. I don't think Flash has many chances to win the game anymore.
We are moments away from the dawning of a Flame Horizon.
Oh.
Corki is 99 CS ahead of his lane opponent. Baron picked up there for QG. Yijin did jump in. He had to try and steal. Manages to get out as well, so... Oh! The crits! Baby crits!
Man, that was brutal. That was Corki. Oh man, I love Corki actually. I think he's a very cool champ, but that was disgusting.
Ooh, Slater,
you don't want this. You really don't want this.
He's doing his best cosplay of that Tristana skin. That was some guerrilla warfare, getting away behind the line.
Absolutely, and he really didn't want to face the enemy straight up there. So
he would have absolutely destroyed if he had tried to fight Genza there. Genza having a great game, by the way. At level 18 already, doing exactly what you have to do on Corki. And here he goes. Slater gets found in the end. Goes down to Hero. He gets that speed boost. The reset. Oh god, that teleport. Taurus, you are in the wrong place.
Taurus
There's
with
a
the
tower behind them, and they don't care.
Yeah, Taurus with the little bit of the Messiah play there, teleporting in and immediately pressing Zhonya's. Not on the right champ, so not as effective as Messiah was pulling that off.
When Messiah did it, it was a great play.
Yeah, it was
not so much there.
More the farce second time, right? So.
Yeah.
But,
that is inhibitor broken.
There's not a whole lot to talk about in this game anymore. Flash can't win any fights, can't do anything. Flash can think about the next game. This very disappointing game 1 as well, because they need to shore up their play. This was not a great game for them.
No, this has been really, really disappointing for them. We're used to Flash. Oh!
Whoa! Nicely done, Seal. That was super sick.
So cool. Well done, Seal. Really showing off. He's been like Seal hasn't really. We haven't really been talking much about him because he's played fine, but he hasn't done anything that.
And once again, a super great stun by Jisoo there. Actually, quietly on the Xayah, having a super great Xayah game. 0-0-5, assisting in every play he can find. And he goes for the right build, so I'm super happy because this is a 100% crit Xayah. And if you have followed our broadcast, I love 100% crit on any ADC.
Crit ADCs are very strong. Also, in terms of mentioning about getting to plays, have a look at the kill participation on Genza.
Yeah,
100% kill participation is a lane. That's so good. That's super impressive. This is QG looking like a top team for the VCS.
Yeah, and QG are 2-2 at the moment, and if they get away with a win today, they are 3-2, tying Gum and tying Flash as well. The Flash are 3-1. So if they are able to secure the win here, they would actually go up to shared third place behind DBL and Loki on 4-1. So very good position to enter playoffs in their first split in the VCS.
Absolutely. Then, this is the last-ditch effort here by Flash. They had to go for something, so I don't blame them. They pick up 1 kill, but it's just not going to be enough.
They just ignore Slater here. This is how much ahead they are. They can just ignore the sole carry in the enemy team and kill everyone else and still win the team fight. Triple kill for Hero in the end.
Yep. Game 1, taken by QG. They go up 1-0 on Flash. What an absolute crushing.
Yeah.
It was one-sided.
Super big stump.
We thought going into this it might be one-sided, but that's not the way we thought it'd go.
Absolutely not. And it's really one play that broke on the whole game. I think after the Dragon play, there was already very little hope for Flash left. Looking at their scaling, looking at what they had to accomplish to win this game. Falling down 3k gold at 10 minutes already, just off of one botched Dragon fight. So yeah, that was the highlight play of the game at around 9 minutes, 9-10 minutes. Where QG got 3 kills around Dragon, and they snowballed super well. Their macro looks very good. Their Baron setup, their Baron call when the enemy team went for Dragon, very impressive.
Exactly. That was such a good performance out of QG. I don't even know what to say. That was so good just from everyone on that team. Everyone had probably their best performance we've seen out of them so far. I'm super impressed.
Yeah, now the very hard question of MVP comes to mind once again. I think for me there are two players standing out in this game, both on AD carry champions.
Yeah, I think Genza. He just was everywhere.
Yeah, I actually think in the most important play of the game, the dragon fight, Jisoo was a little bit more important than Genza, but yeah, Genza in the end had more damage probably and participated a little bit more in the rest of the game. So I'm happy giving it over to Genza. I think a very big nod to Jisoo as well for his super great Zarya ults and very good feather setup. But everyone played well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could have given it to any of them, but we have to pick one. So, moving into game 2, we need to see a much better Flash.
Yeah, and I'm still very taken aback by how bad they looked. Especially,
absolutely.
Yeah, especially Yijin, I would say. I think Slater couldn't do anything. He was on a late game ADC and his team lost in the early game, so whatever, you can't really fault him. He had an okay game, but he was not outstanding. And then Yijin missed everything on the Sejuani. It was not great to watch. Top lane play was one of the worst skill shot fiestas we have ever seen there.
Absolutely. But, well, we will see in game 2, which should start in about 6 minutes. So we'll have to see how Flash can bounce back.
Welcome back everyone for game 2 of DBL against QTV Gaming. Not DBL, I'm sorry, Flash obviously, as you can see by the very flashy symbols on stage. Yeah, what will happen in game 2? Very surprising game 1. The Flash looked completely lost, especially around the Dragon fight. Their composition was set up to have Slater carry and play around the mid-game spikes of a lot of their champions. As we see, Seal picks up the MVP. Very interesting choice. He has a very good stat line, so once again the official broadcast seems to rely heavily on the kill participation. He has 100% there, so that is exactly what you want from your jungler, obviously. 100% kill participation, great stat for Seal. I still think one of the two AD carries needs to get the MVP, and we gave it over to Genza, second MVP for him on our broadcast. We have to see if QG can carry over the very good Game 1 performance and close out the series against one of the presumed top teams. If they lose here, Flash actually lose a lot of momentum and a lot of credibility to be one of the best teams. In the first week especially, I thought they were the best team. And I was kind of surprised by their downfall to DBL. It was a very close series. In the end, DBL showed to be a little bit stronger in terms of individual performance, in terms of micro. Early game went their way in the last 2 games of the series, while Flash dominated the first one. So now Flash has to come back. Yijin needs to step up after the horrific Game 1 performance on Sejuani. And once again, Sejuani technical problems hitting once again. I'm very sorry about that. There, my headset was striking. So, as we look at game 2, DBL, Flash, and Loki were the 3 top teams coming into this week. DBL has lost. Flash has only lost to DBL before, so they are supposed to win this one. Will he be able to come back? Slater is still in the lineup. I like to see that. I don't think he did anything wrong in the first game. So let's see if they get a little bit better of a team-wide performance. They immediately ban out the Karma, followed up with Syndra on QTV side. What would we like to see in game 2 in terms of pick and bans? Actually, not too sure what Team Flash wants to go with. I would like to see a little bit more of the maybe a carry champ on Yijin, actually. Maybe something that can dominate the early game on Yijin, like Elise, like J4, or Rek'Sai. I didn't like Sejuani. Maybe it's Sejuani still okay pick if he actually picks up his play and doesn't miss every ult that he ever throws. It's not we can't really say too much about the draft, I think, in game 1 for Team Flash, because overall their draft was okay. They just didn't execute on anything they set up. Now Yumi and Sejuani hitting the bench for Team Flash. I like those bans, forcing other jungle picks, and Yumi was super strong as Zodiac Sand. Hence, we might look at the Zarya first pick. Irelia is another choice. Silas is banned away, so I think highest power picks are Lux, Zarya, and Irelia probably. Might just see another a J4 first pick as well for Yijin after you seal super good game 1 on J4. Oh, and Nico is open. I completely missed the Nico. Nico is still one of the strongest champs on this patch, and now first picked for Team Flash, Taurus on Nico. He's not Hani. Hani is probably the best top lane Nico so far in the league. Followed. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, no problem.
Sorry about that. I'm back. We are straight into Champions Select here, clearly.
Yeah, and the bans have been very interesting. Look at the bans for Flash. They have banned out everything that was annoying in the last game. 2 of their own champs and the Yumi. So completely changing up their drafting priorities. But I like the answer from QTV as well, securing another Zarya for Jisoo after a very good first game performance, and another J4 for Steel, trying to run it back with the same composition.
Absolutely, this is, but from Team Flash, it's completely different. Obviously, 3 unique champions picked up. The Thresh in the first round, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Thresh Lucian is a good lane, but Lux is open. I feel like there were other picks.
Yeah, this is very obvious Lux setup, I think. Lux, Zarya. Oh, actually, it's Irelia. Okay, that's fine as well. I'd like to see the Lux now banned away from Flash. Just try to pinch a little bit of the support pool and get a favorable matchup in the bot lane. Especially for Slater. Now on the early game carry champ Lucian, you should try to invest more resources to get him a good matchup there, in my opinion.
I completely agree. If Lux doesn't get banned here, I'll be very disappointed. Like, what else are you really banning out?
Apparently
Getting rid of an
Akali.
Akali. I mean, Genza has had some good Akali games, so I don't necessarily blame them for that. But I feel like Lux just has to be banned here.
Gragas now hitting the bench as well. A little bit of a
banning out
curious
another
choice.
Gragas is a very strong jungler. Yejin especially is. Corki being banned means Lux is open. I don't like this at all.
Yeah,
I
I'd like
don't
to see
feel like
Lux for
Corki-
Zodiac.
I don't feel. Oh,
Get
you're
me
gonna go
out.
Rakan instead?
Now Lux is the right answer. I mean, Rakan is not as bad, but that being said, Rakan into Lucian is not a great matchup. Rakan into Thresh and lane is also not great. It's okay in the later stages of the game, but the lane will be a little bit of a struggle. So we play Wifesteal lane against Lover's lane. That should be heavily in favor of the Wifesteal lane if you go by pure lore. Because, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna steal Zaya now. Get the second wife stop. Oh, Mordekaiser's
whoa,
in!
whoa, 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 whoa.
He's in! What is happening?
Oh, we're in for a treat here. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay. So that's gotta be top lane.
Yeah, he's a pure top lane champ, right? He can't do anything else.
You can mid and you can jungle. I just think top's a lot better.
You can with a lot of asterisks, but yeah, he's best in top lane.
Yeah, I've been playing in mid. I've got like a something % win rate, something near 50.
Near 50, something like 45. Nice.
Hey, I'm not a mid laner. I'm a top laner. Give me a break.
I just murdered Mordekaiser recently with my top lane Mundo, but okay, that was not fair. He had no idea what hit him there.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, this is going to be so interesting here in the top lane. I really can go against Mordekaiser, but it's hard.
Especially in the early game. The early game
LA.
is horrible. Yeah, he's super great against melee champs. Against Irelia, I think there will be a point in the game where Irelia actually wins the trades. Once she gets a little bit of MR, I think she will probably early itemize into Wit's End to withstand a little bit of the AP damage there. So I think once Wit's End hits, the matchup might swing over to the Irelia, but yeah, the early game is heavily in favor of Taurus on the Mordekaiser. And the first Mordekaiser we'll see in the VCS, I was sure he was not enabled because he had not got any mention or even hover in the first day.
Yeah, this blows my mind that he's enabled. Why has no one
great.
else
We
been
get to see him.
Mordekaiser? He's so strong. I know. I'm so happy. He's pretty much at the moment. I'm a Mordekaiser one trick at the moment. I love this champion.
Okay, that's very good. I can rely on you for analysis on Mordekaiser because I have not played Mordekaiser a single game. I've only killed Mordekaiser so far.
He is so good. I actually think the Mord rework is the best rework they've ever done.
Oh,
quite.
Wow. I think that still goes to Poppy in my opinion. I think Poppy rework is probably the best they've ever done.
Yeah, actually, Poppy is a very, very good rework. I didn't really think of her. Either Poppy or Mordekaiser then. Personally, I play Mordekaiser. I don't really play much Poppy, so
You should. Poppy is great.
I played a bit of it. I use her as a counter. I don't play.
Player and bot lane. She's great as a support.
Mistake though. Nah, already Taurus has made a mistake. He's not using the Infernal skin. Therefore,
okay. He can always surrender, right?
Yep, he's not as cool. What's the point in?
he goes Conqueror. Is that the normal choice for? Yeah, okay,
Absolutely.
interesting.
Always go Conqueror.
Conqueror into Aurelia. Usually,
Mordekaiser.
I'm not a fan of Conqueror into Aurelia, but I guess Mordekaiser can do.
You can't really
right?
take anything else on board, is the thing.
Okay.
There's nothing else that's particularly good. And you do want long trades where they sit in your passive, and you just
Yeah,
tick,
that's
tick,
very
tick,
true.
tick, tick. So Conqueror is the natural choice. I do think Irelia uses Conqueror better because, as you said, it was either the last game or the last series. Irelia is basically the best Conqueror user in the game.
Yeah, she's insane with Conqueror.
But I do think it's the right choice on board.
I'm so intrigued by this matchup. I want to see top lane all the time. The early game might just be very.
I do think in the end, I think Hero's the better top laner, so it could go the other way. But Taurus should win this lane.
Yeah. Especially early on, I think the advantage heavily lies on Taurus' side. That being said, there is an opportunity to do early gank him, right? Seal has started blue buff, so could go for a 330, 350 minute gank.
Absolutely. Mordekaiser is very vulnerable to early ganks. Once he hits 6, you can't gank him.
Yeah. It's a little bit like Teemo, right? Because you can't really gank Teemo either in the later stages of the game.
I think it's even more dangerous than Teemo, though.
It's more
because
like,
the thing
like
with
a Lowy.
Mordekaiser, yeah, some kind of like a Lowy, because Mordekaiser, for those that maybe don't know a huge about Mordekaiser, the reason you can't gank him is you just ult the jungler as they come in, then you 1v1 the jungler, you either kill him, or if you can't kill them, you walk back towards your tower in the Death Realm, and then you're safe. And it was a 1v1, not a 1v2. So
I'm still very confused by how will the spectator client actually show the Mordekaiser ult in team fights? I have no idea. Will we get another screen?
From what I've read, it shows them as like transparent ghost-like things.
Oh yeah, okay.
So we can see them, but I think it will challenge us to try and call what's going on in the Rumble cage, as well as the real game.
Maybe we should set up that you comment on the real team fight and I look at the Mordekaiser side thingy there, because there will not be as much action. We'll have to see how it works out.
If both is happening at once, I'll let you call the 1v1s. No worries. You can show us your play-by-play, which I'm sure is great.
Obviously, that's why I usually do it.
But yeah, I mean, I hate to dwell on this Mordekaiser because there is obviously a whole map being played, but this is the new champion to the Rift.
Yeah, and all the other matchups, we know the other matchups. It's as we said, Zyra. Oh, there's the gang.
It's actually Taurus is dead. He's
double flash.
Yeah, Mord can't do anything about that.
And once again, the jungler steals away the kill. That's so unnecessary. Heejin is not great on skill shots today.
No, unfortunately not. Hero burnt his TP to come in to help his mid laner there. Yujin does need to get out. Yujin being very aggressive there.
Yeah,
whoa. He just went in.
Wait, where is he?
He went in. He hit the Q and he Lee syndromed it.
Oh,
but
no.
they're going to get the turn kill potentially here.
Yujin, what are you doing?
Yujin, what are you doing? Optimus has picked up the kill on Seal though. It looks like he'll get away. Genza's got no mana. This is basically
look at the slow from Optimus.
Hero taking so much damage. Come on. They've got to be able to find this. No.
Oh, what a mess. And now Mordekaiser's here. He's too slow. That's sad.
He's just going to lumber towards them. But not be able to do much.
He looks a little bit like Nautilus. I want to see Mordekaiser Nautilus top lane fight. That sounds hilarious.
That sounds like a good skin line. Do a definitely not Mordekaiser and definitely not Nautilus where they're cosplaying each other.
Oh man, that's such a great skin idea.
I think Mordekaiser has some of the best flavor of any champ. Never mind. We'll come back to this. If we do have a TP down here into the bot lane, this is Optimus coming down. Oh, the hook hits a minion. Really bad there from CBL. Didn't see the minion right in front of him, and we could have Optimus getting caught here. Gets knocked up. Zodiac on his way over, but he's not going to get there in time.
Optimus is super great on this E. He has hit every single route on his Nico so far.
Yep.
Very good Nico play. Utilizing the auto attack slow as well on the Glacial Augment, that's the name. Yeah, because most of the time we see Glacial Augment only really utilized on the big slow items on the Super Soaker build, but there's still the auto attack slow, and he so far in the skirmishes has been very good at the slowing enemies and then utilizing the route to catch up with the slowed enemies. So very good Nico play out of Optimus so far.
Absolutely. As I said, we have been dwelling on this Mordekaiser, but there is one more mechanic I want to mention, because as a Mordekaiser one trick, I want to know if Taurus knows how to knock people away with his aim, because you can do it.
Oh, really?
If you target, because you target behind you. Yeah, but
Look
as
at
it
this
is,
first.
he comes in the hook onto Zodiac, but he flies away. The lovers lane has such good range on the E. Jisoo, though, not so lucky. He goes down. Only one of them survives. I don't think you want this fight, Hero. That's level 6 Mordekaiser. He can put him into the Death Realm. He should put him into the
Oh
Death Realm
my
if he's
god,
going to get away.
what's
No,
going
he's just gonna
on?
kill him. See, yeah. So just more Dark
What
Kaiser.
is this?
Boy, Mordekaiser. Sit down,
Oof.
Hero. You think you can be flashy, but the big man in the suit of armor, you've got all your mechanics. He's got an APM of 2. It doesn't matter. Mordekaiser wins.
APM of 2, yeah. Very, very, very accurate on this play. He just walked him down there with the passive. Oh, wow.
Optimus as well, going in, hits the root even after the Azir wall is burned. Yijin's here, but there's no chance for anything else. Genza with a nice little escape.
So please tell us, how will this matchup now go with 1 kill secured for the Mordekaiser?
It's going to be real bad for Hero. It'll be real bad.
Very, very concise, very...
I mean, the thing is that, again, Mordekaiser doesn't have a gap closer.
What is he building? What the... What is this?
That's odd. Go straight into the Seeker's Vanguard. Not what I would build first.
What does he build? Wait. So is this a Trinity Force?
It couldn't be. Well, the Seekers is for his onions.
Yeah, obviously, and Seekers is super good in lane and against the jungle gangs as well. But what are the 2 daggers for?
Hey,
Nashor's Tooth?
Standard Mordekaiser build is Rylai's into Leandris.
Yeah, right. Leandris is super strong on the champ.
Yeah, exactly. He's a dot champion with his passive.
I actually love to play pre-rework from Mordekaiser. He was one of my favorite bot laners.
Yeah, he was super fun in the bot lane. I have genuinely no idea what these daggers are for.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I don't even really like buying the Seekers that early.
I think Seekers early is undervalued by AP top laners, because Seekers early gives you so much power in the trades. I like the Seekers, but I think these daggers will go to a Trinity Force, actually.
That's dumb.
Okay,
that's really not
maybe
very
not.
good.
Okay, I guess.
No, I think you're right. No, I think you're right. I think Taurus is wrong.
No, I mean, I thought it might be an okay item on the champ. You use auto attacks, right?
It's not where most of your damage comes from, though. You don't have super low cooldown abilities to abuse Sheen.
Okay.
Like,
maybe Nashor's Tooth. I love Nashor's Tooth. I think it's a super great item.
But the thing, I'm just not sure, because you don't need your autos. When you play right, your autos, you only need to land 1 to get your passive roll, because you hit your E, your Q, and then an auto, and that's full. That's your passive.
Yeah, the daggers are super confusing. I still can't wrap my head around them.
Maybe, I mean, I'm happy to be wrong here. If he brings out, like a Triforce or something, and it's really sick, I'm happy to be wrong. That's another string in my bow when I play Mord. But what I'm looking at is your lowest cooldown ability is your Q, and at max rank, that still has a 4-second cooldown.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't sound like the best, like the best item then for him. We'll have to see.
Well,
maybe it's just for the early trades. Maybe he has played this matchup a lot and knows that a little bit more attack speed will actually give him faster access to Conqueror stacks and the passive. So he just goes for like Durance, like you would buy Durance to have a better trade.
It's very possible. I mean, we'll end up. We'll see.
Let's talk a little
It
bit
does
about the
delay his
dragon,
Rylai's.
even though it's not on the
Yeah.
Mordekaiser lane. But there was a dragon going down. It's an Infernal Drake, and Flash has absolutely given it up. Botlane has lost all priority, and there was a very bad reset timer from Yijin. So once again, we see QG being very good at reading the map state and capitalizing on enemy mistakes. And even though they're still behind in gold and have a very scary top lane matchup, they have at least
Yeah.
secured a very good dragon for them.
Absolutely. I do. I think one thing that will be interesting to look at in the other lanes is, will people be buying QSSs? Because obviously we talk about QSSs as kind of like that Skarner tax when Skarner's in the game. This is the first time we're seeing Mordekaiser in professional play, at least first time I'm seeing Mordekaiser in professional play. Is it worth paying a Skarner tax for Mord? Because that affects the itemization. I don't want to bring it back to Mord, we've talked enough about him. But in terms of like the AD carry matchup and that kind of thing, we totally haven't. I'm going to talk about it so much more. But for now, just looking away from the Mord, that does change item breakpoints if you think you need a QSS.
I love Taurus. I love Taurus. Look at his items.
That's a Nash's Tooth. Sure.
No, it can still be either item, right?
Yeah,
Both items are.
Yeah.
No, wait. It's it has to be Nash's Tooth because Trinity Force has no AP proponent anymore. Component.
I mean, this is completely different to any Mordekaiser build I've seen.
So this is very split push focused. There was very old Akali split push build with Nash's Tooth, where he just focused on split pushing. So maybe that's the Mordekaiser. Once again, QTV is first to the play.
So much damage. Optimus just got absolutely melted there. Didn't even get a chance to click the lantern. He was just split apart from his team there. It's a pretty massive mistake. Herald taken and no real answer down in the bot lane because of the TP coming out from Genza.
Slater at least got 2 platings, so it's still the same value the Rift Herald gives. So once again we see a team heavily committing to the Rift Herald, while the other team pushes on the bot lane, I'm sorry. So I'm not too sure why the VCS continues to go for this play every game. In the end, it's... Did they actually get the local gold is the question. Yeah, I think so. I think
it went on to Seal.
Yeah, onto Seal, that's not great. So they invested many resources to get 320 gold on Seal. 1 kill worth of gold on Seal, and he is tank Jarvan. So in the end, Flash actually come away with a little bit of an advantage from this play overall. Okay, they lost another kill, so it's still slightly an advantage to QG. But Flash didn't lose as much as they could have lost.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is curious. It's just like this little bit of a failing in macro play where teams are taking a little bit too long to get the Rift Herald, which means bot laners are able to just...
Oh, by the way, you wanted to educate us how to knock away people with Mordekaiser.
You target it behind you. You turn around. Right? So you put it right in front of you when you turn your back to the other laner because it pulls towards you, right? The hand starts moving towards you. So if you put it just in front of you, most of the E is actually behind you.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
You just keep walking. And it pushes them away. I mean, it's not very hard. Mordekaiser's not a hard champion by any means. That's why I'm wondering. But he's so much fun. I like simple champs. Like I don't think every champion needs to be an Irelia.
Absolutely not. And it's even better seeing Irelia getting stomped by the simple champ.
Exactly.
And it's even better if the enemy Irelia is salty and is whining about noob champs. Then you're in your zone. That's when you feel really great about yourself.
Exactly. Good pick up there by the Scuttlecrab. Seal just a little bit too late to that one, but I don't think he'll be too upset. Dragon is coming up in 15 seconds, and that's another Infernal.
Yeah, TP available for both top laners. And look at the XP difference. I've only just looked at the top lane. It was 9 to 11 just a moment ago, so Hero just now hit 10, nowhere close to level 11, and Taurus with level 2 ult. I don't think QG can actually fight around the Dragon if they are on a 5v5 setup.
Yep. I mean, also, like, something to sort of remember about Mordekaiser here is he's not too sad about the enemy team getting an Infernal Drake, because when he ults, he steals your stats.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a very, very good point. I think the Infernal Drake on himself is still better. Oh, wow.
Lots better. Stasis used there from Zodiac, but it's not going to do anything. CBL probably didn't want to
No,
steal that kill there.
CBL.
But here's Taurus. He's in the Death Realm. So this is how it works, because you can kind of see that he's a little bit transparent. But anyway, moving forward, they're not going to find anything because they're too far apart now.
Wait, what? I did not catch it. Wow, okay, you can barely see who's in the Death Realm. That's questionable animation there. So he altered Hero, right? Yeah, I think
No,
Hero was...
he altered Seal. No, he altered Seal
Really?
as he went over the wall.
Oh, interesting.
As
Okay.
he went over the wall.
So they get the Infernal Drake, so 1-for-1 in Infernal Drakes, and this Mordekaiser is still super scary, going for the Nashor's Tooth first item, which is a little bit of a head scratcher, but whatever.
That is a massive head scratcher, but it's working so far. The unfortunate thing for him there was, as he altered Seal, he went over the wall, so he didn't have time to chase him down. And the one thing you have to be aware of as a Mordekaiser player is, yes, you're in the Death Realm and it's only the two of you, but when you kill, if he was to have chased Seal and then killed him, he would have just popped up and be like, hello, I'm in the middle of 4 enemies, and would have just instantly died. So chasing would have been a bad idea.
That's where I also think Mordekaiser is potentially super great in coordinated play, because you can even stop your own Mordekaiser from overextending if you just give him the information where everyone is. So even better in coordinated play, I think, especially if he's a good laner, and it looks like it, right? Because for solo lane, for a champion to be viable in pro play, he has to be a good laner or insanely safe. That's the two things you can rely on to be a not solo queue pick, pro play pick. It seems to be a super good laner, so yeah, why not?
Absolutely. I do think if Mordekaiser does enter the meta and be a very strong pick, you will see quite a lot of early gank focus top against him, because he is super vulnerable pre-6.
Yeah, but that's also very risky, right? You can just set up counter ganks then if it's very easy to read. And counter ganks with Mordekaiser in your back pocket, wow, that sounds scary. Think about something like a Silas Mordekaiser, or even maybe Rek'Sai Mordekaiser, Zinzao Mordekaiser, if you want to go full top lane focus. That sounds
I also
scary.
think we will... Oh, Slater taking so much damage here. He's going to go down.
Oh, massive misplay by Slater there.
Jisoo gets killed back. There's a teleport here. They want to go under the tower. Seal gets locked up. Sorry, goes into the stasis, I should say. But the double kill's picked up, and that's 3 kills there for Flash.
Yeah, very well done for Flash, but massive misplay from Slater. Didn't get to flash out. Got caught in the knock-up and the ult from Rakan, and somehow ended up dying to the turret, even before the play even really unfolded. But in the end, Flash still with a massive members advantage. They utilized the TP advantage in the mid lane and got away with more kills. Look at this again. Yeah, look at Slater messing up here. He got caught by the... Yeah, he didn't do. Yeah, he couldn't do anything there. So very good play from Jisoo on Xayah once again. He caught him with the Pierce. How's that ability called again? I'm blanking out once again. I'm very sorry.
I don't remember.
No, the E from Xayah. The
Feather Call or something.
Yeah, Feather Call. Yeah, that's right. So stunned him up there under the turret. Instant half HP. Slater got turret aggro. Immediately fell down. Not the greatest game on the Lucian so far.
No.
But he doesn't have to carry, because there is a super strong mid, top, and jungle. And even a support
Yijin
strong.
as well. Yijin as well. He played that super well in that dive. Was very cleanly Sin play, which is good to see. We've seen some mixed bags out of Lee Sins in the VCS.
And after the last game from Yijin, very good recovery.
Precisely. It's good to see him very much recovering. He went... I mean, we didn't really comment on him in Champions League. Maybe we should have. Going after a bad game, he went to a really mechanically demanding champion, which can be a bit dangerous if you're off your game, but he's proven that he's okay.
Yeah, I think it's also a little bit of a comfort champion.
Oh, bang, straight onto Hero. That was really well done. This should be an easy kill. CBL, don't steal it. Good boy.
Nicely done.
Hero, absolutely nothing he could do.
Taurus a little bit sad that he's Mordekaiser and can't go a little bit faster. He tried to get to the play, but yeah, sadly Mordekaiser movement speed not the greatest, so he just had to watch the enemy top laner die. In the end, he still gets alone time with the turret, so solo gold for him. Not the worst that could happen. And he's almost 30 CS up.
Yeah, almost 30. You are right. Yeah, he's having a super good game. Nothing hugely flashy.
Whoa!
Ooh. Speaking of flashy, Slater goes in, bang, solo kill on the enemy mid laner.
And straight up ignoring the control ward dropped. That's not
Soldier.
very nice. Straight up going back to farming. He doesn't want to waste any time clearing out minions, getting as much resources as he can. And that pick was super important because the Infernal Dragon is live. 20-second death
What
time
is
on
these
Genza.
dragons?
They want more fighting.
Triple Inferno?
I mean,
This
first
is
game was slow.
fantastic.
So VCS production has said, okay, we need 3 Infernal Drakes. Get 3 Infernal Drakes on the Rift. We need more fighting. We are losing viewers and
Viewership is dropping. Deploy the Infernal Drake.
Exactly.
I love it. This is obviously that makes it for a super spicy game when the Infernals come out. It will be interesting though going forward. So obviously, stacking Infernals isn't quite as good. Like I think you would really like a Mountain or something. For both teams here, I don't think either of them are amazing at Baron taking. Mordekaiser actually is a fantastic Baron champ, for the record.
Why? His damage is not great on Baron, right? Oh.
No, it's pretty good.
Yeah?
His Q.
Oh, okay.
It does bonus damage if your Q only hits one thing.
Okay.
And obviously in a Baron pit,
Yeah,
you're
that's
only
true.
hitting one thing.
That's true.
Plus his passive is like constant dot damage. It's obviously it's limited against jungle monsters, but it's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Actually, the most I've played against Mordekaiser is obviously in TFT, because there's Mordekaisers everywhere. He's pretty useless in TFT, though. The only thing he can accomplish is the very OP
Really
Phantom synergy.
Yeah, God. Kindred Mordekaiser.
Yeah.
Every time you say that, you're just crossing your fingers that it doesn't go on your carry.
Or your frontliner level 3, whatever you have in your frontline. Level 3 Cho'Gath. Oh, he's at 100 health. Yeah. Sorry, you lost the game.
Yeah. Have you seen that they're adding level 0 units? If you
yeah,
get
I've heard about that. I've not seen them.
Oh no! Oh, so much damage coming out here. Zodiac actually went forward there. That's a huge mistake. I wasn't even talking about what was happening, but my word!
Wait,
Slater.
Genza got solo killed by
What
Legion as well.
happened to Genza?
Yeah,
What?
Legion just solo killed him in the jungle. And Slater wants to
This
get the
is-
MVP for this game, so he gets all the kills, trying to bait the production into MVP, even though he has done absolutely nothing in this game. Had the biggest misplay for Flash, so please don't give Slater the MVP for this game. I love you, Slater, but this is not your game.
I think we're looking at Yujin for that MVP so far. He's had an absolute cracker of performance.
And look at this game,
Baron-
23 minutes, and this game is already over.
Yeah, this is Flash is awake. Flash has come off cooldown.
Yeah, this
And
looks
they're
like a
here to play.
DBL series, right? They look atrocious on game 1, and then game 2, for some reason, they're 3 times better. I'd like to see another Mordekaiser, in a little bit more of an even footing, where it's more about top lane, because this Mordekaiser is just whatever. He could be any other champion. Would not change anything for Flash. Hey, he got 1 solo kill on Hero, so good for him. Taurus feeling himself.
I would like to see him hit a bit more of an impact ult. One of the big things with the ult is that even if you can't 1v1 the person in it, you can remove someone from the fight, which is why I don't like this build very much, because that's why Rylai's is so good.
Yeah, that's true. I think he's going for Rylai's 3rd, probably.
Yeah, it should be.
Rylai's super tanky. He has a lot of armor. He's probably sitting at 130, 140 armor, so maybe eyeing Jisoo there. He might not be able to kill Jisoo with Jisoo's flash and ult available, but he at least can
Flash
remove...
doesn't do much Rumble Cage.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
Oh, but speaking of plays, though, CBL really well done there, using the Lantern to get his ADC to safety. Bot lane tower is taken as well. Genza actually did get Mordekaiser ulted and died. We didn't see it. But
CBL...
he died in the Death Realm.
Oh, CBL was super aggressive there. But in the end, they don't punish him for his over-aggressive play. And in the meantime, Flash has already pushed down the bot lane inhibitor. I don't really see QG doing anything anymore in this game. Especially with Genza's performance being this horrible. Yeah. What is the...
I'd like to see a replay on that solo kill. Well, it probably wasn't entirely a solo kill, because he probably just used the Death Realm to prevent him running away. but I would like to see it. Of course, for the next 4 seconds, Mordekaiser is very powerful because he has some of Azir's stats.
I'd like to see the earlier solo kill from Yijin on Genza.
Yeah,
What
I would
actually
like to see
happened
that
there?
too.
I mean, it's probably flash over the wall, ult into Q into kill. But
Probably,
yeah,
but we may never know.
we want to see more mechanics from this Lee Sin player because we want to give him the MVP, and for that we need more plays.
Yeah, come on, earn it, Yijin. 6-0, not good enough, mate. Let's go. Let's get some mechanics going. We haven't
He has had an
nearly enough.
insane Lee Sin game.
Of course.
Oh wow, he's
this-
actually skipping the Rylai's and going straight to
Going
for
straight for
Leandris.
I mean, Leandris is very good. Oh, you guys are in some trouble up here.
Oh,
CBL.
almost.
That was super close. And there's a Mordekaiser here. He's just going to suck someone into the death realm as soon as he feels
No
safe.
idea who
Hero?
he ulted.
Hero? He hasn't ulted yet. It's still up.
Man, Mordekaiser is so hard to follow. What is that
Yeah,
champion
no, don't
actually?
worry. I'll call when he ults.
Oh no,
I
no.
can see it.
The Zodiac is in.
No, now, yeah.
Okay.
He was in there with Zodiac.
Wait, they have to make that more visible for viewers. That's insanely slim.
It's so difficult to see.
Yeah, I think another screen would be nice, or another window to show the Mordekaiser ult would be great.
Yeah, but this will be game 2. Go in a flash. Did you want to cast 6 games tonight? 'Cause I
Yeah,
did.
why not? I mean, those games are very quick, right? So why not?
Yeah,
We can have 6 of these games, especially if they are like the last game or the first series, because that was some interesting League of Legends.
yeah.
Mordekaiser coming in hot. I mean, weird builds, and he didn't really do a whole lot while Yijin carried the game, but he looked good. I'm still confused why
Yeah.
no other team even considered him.
That does my head in. Like, he's so strong. Like, maybe he was disabled yesterday?
That
there's
would be
bad
very strange.
The only explanation I can think of is there's been very bad communication by the league.
Yeah, maybe.
Because
I mean,
not
I
even
can
seeing
understand why
him-
DBL or EVOS are not playing him. They probably had no time practicing him for
Yeah.
Rift Trials, but all the other teams should first pick
yeah, he should be
Mordekaiser.
getting banned at least.
Yeah.
He's incredibly strong.
He's super
but,
strong.
I mean, I think we agree though. MVP that game, Yijin.
Yeah, there's no
end?
real contention there. I think.
Yep.
Yijin with a super great Lee Sin performance. We've seen good Lee Sin games today. Meliodas coming back with a Lee Sin in the second game. Or the first game? I'm not sure. Yeah, they won the first game. So first game, Meliodas looked super great on the Lee Sin. And now Yijin following suit. What will we see for game 3? What do we expect here? Another Mordekaiser?
Oh, another Mordekaiser.
I want to see another
Fingers
Mordekaiser.
crossed.
Let's see Mordekaiser Kiana mid lane.
I think Kiana's been hovering, so she's not disabled in client.
I mean, if Mordekaiser is not disabled, why would Kiana be disabled? She's out for 2 weeks already? Is she?
I mean,
I'm not sure.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I mean, she came out on the same day as TFT.
I think
right?
if
Or-
Kiana and Mordekaiser are picked, I think we have to swap roles, because I have no idea about both champs, so you'll get to...
okay, so I can help with the Mordekaiser, but I don't know what Kiana does. I've played like 1 game of her.
I haven't even seen her in my games. Oh, I have played against her once, and she teleported
I've never
bot
played.
and double killed our bot lane, and then never did anything all game anymore. So, I guess she did a bit of damage.
We'll see. Even if Kiana's open, I don't actually think
No.
we'll.
I don't think she's strong enough to be picked. We might see her today in LEC, because I saw Caps playing her a lot on stream. So
It's possible.
it's G2, you never know, and it's Caps, so that's a lot of...
Really never know. Anyway, we'll have to see. Game 3, we're having two 3-game series in a night. This series is way better than expected as well.
Yeah, it's really got... We have had a treat to watch today. First series was super great. If you missed the first series, go back and watch that after this one finished, because that was probably the best series of all the VCS, in my opinion, so far. Gam absolutely showing up, DBL with 1 very good game as well. And now QG and Flash are putting on a show as well. Flash still
Absolutely.
favored for the third game, in my opinion, though. And we have almost always seen the team that wins the second game win the whole series. I know you like the team that wins the second game a lot, and I think Flash is the heavy favorite to close out the game.
Absolutely. They looked woken up in that second game, but we'll see.
Yep. See you in 5 minutes when the third game hits. Welcome back, and let's go for game 6 of the day. We have the third game between Flash and QG at our hands. I'm sorry, I blanked out once again. QG won the first one, Flash the second. Flash with the Mordekaiser pick, very exciting. And the second game was pretty much a stomp from all the lanes. Kind of what we expected coming into this best of 3. A little bit surprising that QG was able to absolutely demolish Flash in game 1. Yijin getting the MVP of the official broadcast, that was very obvious. We gave him the MVP as well. This was one of the very clear MVPs. 3 games on Lee Sin, 100% win rate, very noticeable stat. DPM at 370, not too bad either on the Lee Sin. More of the utility and burst champ, not so much consistent damage threat. So you'll never get to see something like 600 on the Lee Sin, obviously. So still a very high damage number, considering the game only went for 26, 27 minutes as well. So yeah, Flash looking way better in game 2. And will we see another Mordekaiser draft? Taurus looked very comfortable and actually won against Hero in lane. Got a solo kill. Hero might be a little bit unused to the Mordekaiser. That being said, he's out now for 3 weeks already, so every pro player should have had enough time against him in solo queue, especially if you're a top laner. And we are jumping right into draft again.
Lovely. Sorry about that, everyone. I was a little bit late coming back after that break there, but we are in Champion Select. Optimus has his Syndra banned out again. And Karma taken out. We're not going to see her again tonight. Silas removed as well. Is there any significant ban changes you think should come in?
Mordekaiser, maybe? I mean, is QT the real question coming into this draft is QTV able to play Mordekaiser? If not, Flash might just get a very free pass on Mordekaiser again. But QTV is not banning out the Mortar, so either they say, okay, Mortar was not that big of a problem, which would be a little bit weird considering Hero got solo killed in the top lane, or they are saying, okay, yeah, let the Mordekaiser open, let us have the Mordekaiser. And with this Renekton ban, I really think they go for the first pick Mordekaiser here, because I think Renekton to Mord is probably not that great a matchup, right? What do you think?
No. Mord does well against pretty much every melee in the game, but Renekton is one that can actually beat him.
Yeah,
just
I thought so. Just because it's Renekton.
Now, this is where the Mordekaiser pick gets really dangerous. You don't want to play against Nico.
Yeah, so Nico first pick still a good pick, but then you have the option of countering with the Irelia. So we're a little bit on a paper, scissors situation. Irelia beats Nico, Nico beats Mordekaiser, Mordekaiser beats Irelia, judging from the last game. So yeah, so now the Mordekaiser maybe... the Mordekaiser might not get picked in this game, actually, because the Nico blocks the Mordekaiser for Flash, and with the Nico, you could play Mordekaiser Nico as your solo laners, but then you really need AD jungle, which, yeah, it's still possible. So, if anything, I think Mordekaiser more likely for QTV. Oh, but I like this bot lane.
This is a really strong bot lane. I actually think Mordekaiser can still be picked, because I think Mordekaiser can go mid. It's not as strong, but it's doable.
Okay.
So you could swap it away from the Nico. But I think you're right that if it comes in, it's probably more likely on QGV's side. The lack of priority on him is confusing me. I will put that out there. Such a strong champion statistically, but he is somehow still surviving without being picked. The question here is, I don't like this Nautilus pick.
As always, we get to see Nautilus. I mean, Nautilus is okay into Yuumi. It's still a good champ into the Yuumi, and Yuumi has to be very careful. The lane is still more in favor of the Yuumi Lucian, especially after Slater showed his Lucian mechanics. He had one big blunder under the turret. Other than that, a good Lucian game. CBL so far has looked quite good as well. One of our premier support players, I think. Not too flashy, but very consistent. Now Jace.
Yeah, Jace being picked up here, I think that puts the Mordekaiser dream to bed.
Ah, that's so sad.
I'm cut. only getting one Mordekaiser game when I could have had 6 today, because apparently he was enabled the whole time.
And 6, yes, and 4 yesterday. Yeah, so very, very strange.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Especially seeing Gum not playing the Mordekaiser is surprising me, because usually they play whatever is available. The only team to be really good at Karthus, not the only team who has picked Karthus. There was one Karthus game of Meliodas from Meliodas, but we don't want to talk about that game because that was a horrible viewing experience. That was the worst Karthus play I've ever seen. No, not true. Malrung, I've seen Malrung play Karthus, and that was worse, the jungler for Jin Air. But yeah, Meliodas Karthus was not great either, so please don't play Karthus again, Meliodas. Leave that to Levi. But while we've drifted away from this draft, what are we looking at?
Well, it's jungle bans coming in. Lee Sin being taken out. Yijin not getting a chance to play that one again, and he was very, very good on that last game. Jarvan also being removed, and Gragas. This is a pinch jungle pool, but we still have Rek'Sai open, Olaf as well, who's fallen out of favor, but is still a capable jungler.
Both junglers have not played Olaf. It's only really picked up by Meliodas and DNK in the VCS, so Olaf is on a very low priority. Especially on patch 9.13 has fallen away all around the globe, but especially low priority in the VCS. Now LeBlanc. So the solo lanes are secure. They only need a jungle. Last pick jungle is very curious. Why would you last pick jungle?
I'm not sure.
They wait for.
That seems crazy, but I think we're about to have another issue over on the QTV side.
Oh no. Here we go again.
Let's
go. Elise or Karthus would be perfect in this draft, fitting right into the best damage profile possible. Triple AP top side.
You got to match up your sorcerers. They get double mana.
Yeah, double mana and 35. Oh yeah, that's much better. Thank you.
Rek'Sai is a good pick there. Well done.
Yeah, QTV not falling for the trap many VCS teams have fallen for, but to be fair, most of the time they pick triple AP topside on red side for some reason. I still don't understand what's going on with red side drafts in VCS most of the time. This one is, yeah, there is the Elise, but they have a top laner with 80 damage. Whoa! That's a reason to last pick jungle.
Bringing out the Italy.
That's actually a very valid reason to last pick jungle. So they waited for the full confirm on the enemy team, then decided on Nidalee jungle into Rek'Sai. Indeed.
Actually, very interesting pickup there. Two pretty strong early junglers, at least in terms of skirmishing. Nidalee not so much in terms of ganks, but you don't want to invade a Nidalee. You don't really want to invade a Rek'Sai either.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting.
Playing against the jungler you don't really want to invade is already a bad sign for Nidalee, because she wants to invade constantly. A little bit confused by the Nidalee pickup. I think there were better options available. Some tank junglers still up. There were a lot of jungle bans actually happening in the game, so maybe Yijin not comfortable on any other champion. I would have actually preferred the Elise in this game. I think Elise can outpace Rek'Sai in the early ganking department and look for kills. That being said,
which lane do you gank?
Yeah, I think it's even more valid from the other side. So I think the Nidalee actually came in because they called their solo lanes are not gankable. So if they don't have to keep pace with the enemy ganking jungler, you can take a farming jungler and outscale him. That being said, outscaling with a Nidalee is a tall order. That's something you don't really see too often. But it's against the Rek'Sai. It's actually one of the few champs that can kind of outscale in terms of utility and maybe even mid-game skirmishing with Nidalee. Not too possible with many other jungle champs. Very intriguing pick.
Yeah, very much. Very, very intriguing overall. I'm not sure which team comp I'm favouring here. I think it's a really difficult call.
Both are a little bit weird.
Have pretty serious strengths. I mean, this bot lane from Flash is really powerful.
Yeah, I think QG overall have set up the more usual 5v5 late game teamfight draft. We have strong team fighters in Kaiser and Vladimir. A little bit of a bridging pick that still scales well into the later stages of the game with the mid laner Nico with a lot of utility and super soaker build. And then Seal coming in to bridge completely into the later stages of the game with his early game jungler. So I like their composition, if you just look at the composition without looking at the other composition. And then on Flash's side, that's a little bit more. There needs to be. I need more time to think about the comp. Strong laners, that's something I can see immediately. Very strong laners, especially in bot lane, as you alluded to, rightfully. We have a good control, a good priority mid laner that has a little bit of solo kill potential with Ignite picked up as well. We have Taurus on. Actually, the Jace pick is only for AD damage. It doesn't really do a whole lot for them in terms of lane control because it's against Vladimir.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I think we might actually see quite a quiet early game.
Yeah,
because I don't think either jungler can really get involved here, and I don't think there's a huge amount of solo kill potential.
Yeah, I think Flash needs to play around early objectives secured with the early priorities and lanes. They will probably win the bot lane. They are probably pushing in top lane. So Nidalee needs to be freed up to go for solo Dragon and Rifthold and kind of snowball the lead, the gold lead through objectives, not through kills. That's probably where I see the Flash comp going.
Seal has gone for a very interesting path here. Started Wolves, went Raptors red. And it might actually lead to him getting his blue buff stolen away here, and I don't think they have any way of knowing this.
Yeah, and very good wards. If you look at the bottom side, Seal will get spotted if he tries to invade. Sadly for Flash, though, their bot lane has lost priority, which is a little bit weird, and now the enemy bot lane will go for an early... Wait, what are they actually trying to do?
They're just
I thought they
out.
would go for Crab, but Crab has not even spawned, so no opportunity to go for the early Crab there.
Unfortunate. It does look like Seal might answer back on this blue if Yijin doesn't get over there, which I don't think he will.
Yeah, in the end it's
so
just
it is
vertical jungling, it
buffs.
seems like. Yeah.
I mean, it's very strange vertical jungling, though, because, I mean, Seal has cleared most of that side of his jungle.
But Yijin can now contest both Scuttle Crabs. He actually has priority over both Scuttle Crabs, but he messed up. Yep. Wow, he actually hard messed up the jump there with the wall.
Very poorly done.
Wow, Yijin, what are you doing?
Hail of Blades Rek'Sai. Yijin looking really bad here, taking so much damage. Does land the Q on Genza, but it doesn't matter. Scuttle Crab now take it.
Yeah, he loses the Scuttle Crab, which is already quite a big blow, because he had the priority on the bottom Scuttle Crab, but his mid laner, who's supposed to have the early priority on the LeBlanc, lost his side of the matchup and first roam to Genza, so in the end, Yijin getting punished. Very poor micro play on the Nidalee there, not able to jump over the wall to contest his own blue buff. It's still a trade in Scuttle Crabs, but not accelerated, and that's already not a great sign for Nidalee. So far, Seal is actually ahead in terms of jungle speed. But Yijin with the opportunity to go for Agatha on the... Oh, is that Bertha? I'm not sure. I think it's Agatha on the side of QG. I'm talking about the Gromp.
They have names?
Yeah. It's the LS terminology. It's Agatha and Bertha.
On the map?
Yeah.
Of course. Thomas Kench is my favorite LS-ism.
That's a great name, yeah.
He's a controversial figure, but he's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, he's had some statements that have come back to haunt him. G2 would lose to the top 3 Korean teams, of course. Oh, never mind that. Let's not talk about LS. Let's talk about Slater getting absolutely pumped down there. He should live through this Ignite.
Who last take almost. Wow, that was super close. Now, Taurus... no, he doesn't have any mana, so Hero is still in a good position. Hero keeping track in CS is also a super good sign for the Vladimir there. Taurus so far has not been able to dominate the lane as much as he would like to. First gank coming in for QG, and a quite successful one, getting out all 4 summoner spells for Flash spot lane. Only investing the Ignite from Zodiac's side, so now even more priority over to the bottom lane of QG.
Yeah, but with this reset timing, it does look like they will pick up this Infernal Drake. There's no real chance of it being contested.
It's another Infernal Drake spawn.
Yeah, this is what, 4 in a row or something? Is there another Drake up at the end of the
Yeah,
last game, maybe?
yeah, there was one other Drake, but only because Infernal Drake was not able to spawn. Wow, that was actually too close for comfort.
Yeah, that was very, very close. But anyway, it doesn't really matter in the end. Flash do go out to the early lead. It's only 100 gold, but getting that Infernal Drake is nice for all of their lanes. It does give them a bit more potential bullying. But
Yeah.
we do need to see a little bit more around these early objectives. I like that QG didn't contest that. I think it was very smart.
Yeah, I think we saw a very good showing of what both teams want to accomplish with their early game junglers. Seal very much focused around ganking lanes and getting kills, and Yijin, the complete opposite. He needs a priority from his lanes to go for objectives. I talked about it being important that he's able to secure Drakes and Rift Herald early, and he has secured the first Drake, so very good play for him.
Yep.
Wow, but Micro is not looking too great.
Yeah, he's not looking like he's got that Nidalee muscle memory.
Yeah, it looks a little bit off. He's a Vietnamese jungler, and I think, wow, hold that thought.
Oh, Slater, you're in so much trouble. And oh no, Nidalee, sorry, not Nidalee, the other cat, Yumi, could be following soon. Genza flashes over the wall, doesn't have E to stop him, but just no
Yeah, but
help
it's
on
Yumi.
this
Yumi
cat.
has
Down you go.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling as a Yumi player. Just whoa, Hero might die here. Well, now
Hero
Taurus
could
in
be-
problem.
Taurus might die here. Oof. That got a little bit dicey.
And look at the gold. It's actually only 200 gold lead for QG. And where's the gold coming from for Flash? It's mostly in the jungle, actually. 10 creeps ahead.
Yeah.
And probably in the support position as well. It's not showing in the CS, but usually Yumi is super good at stacking her support item.
No,
She's actually behind.
30,
Interesting. Yeah.
30 CS, 30 gold. It's nothing. But yeah, it's pretty much entirely the jungle and the top lane.
And now the
Jace does have
plating
a
for the
200
mid lane
gold.
as well.
Yeah, that's where that is coming from. Turret plating, of course, one of the biggest changes in recent League of Legends. So they have been in for quite some time now.
Yeah, and I think we all know how to think about turret platings by now. We have had all of the spring split to get acclimated to the new change there. And right now it's very when I enter a League of Legends game right now, turret platings are very they're there, and I expect them to be there. It's not weird to me anymore.
Yeah, I agree. There was I still get a little bit thrown when I see Raptors. I want my Wraiths back.
Okay, that's a long time ago.
That's a really long time ago, but I mean, there was a very correct point on the League Reddit today. New players must get so confused when people say Wraiths and Golems.
Oh yeah, that's very true. Well, what are Crocs anyway? What's the word Croc? Croc is...
Yeah, what is a Krug and what is a Grump?
I mean, I like the word Gromp. Gromp is very onomatopoeia stylish. Like Gromp, you immediately know what it's about. It's Gromp.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's called Gromp because that's the noise he makes.
Yeah. I love words like
He's
that.
like a Pokemon. Exactly. And we do potentially have a dive here. Yes, we do. Zodiac gets the hook onto Slater. Slater manages to get the counter kill, though. Goes down in the end. Yumi ult is popped, holding Seal in place. But the tower was not on him. This is getting a little bit dangerous here
Jisoo.
for QG. Jisoo's taking so much damage. Yijin's going huge here. Genza's going to go down as well. Seal as well, so low. We could potentially see another kill here. This is going to be huge. This is the throw. QG.
Oh no, QG, what have you done? Oh my god, that was yeah, VCS and tower dives. Name a more iconic duo. VCS and botch tower dives. I found one.
Yeah. That was such a mess.
Oh man, I actually thought the Flash was super unlucky on the dive because they are a little bit unaware as well because they didn't kill the last 2 minions. But in the end, Yijin turned around, saw that they wanted to continue the dive, and then killed the last 2 minions. And Jisoo woke up from his very nice dream and realized reality is not quite as kind. Yeah, not the greatest.
I really want to see a replay of that. This was
Oh
such a
no.
mess.
Oh, that's another misplay of the week attempt here.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, the initial dive is already bad. They already trade 1 for 1. But now look at this. Jisoo?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there's a
Get killed
tower.
by
Where did the tower come from? Bro, it was there all the time.
No! Oh, Yejin has such a big lead now.
Bloop.
Oh,
Oh man, that was something. I guess sixth game of the day. Machines are already cooling off. Brain machine not working anymore. Sorry, VCS
yeah.
can only sponsor the brain machine for 5 games. So this game might be a mess.
Yeah, please donate to this Twitch stream currently. We actually fund the brain machines directly with your donations. So the more money you give us, the better the games are.
I mean, will they get more fun though?
Exactly, but you got to weigh that up. Do you want better games or more fun games?
At least we'll not get any players die with Nidalee to Rift Heralds, which has been Rift Herald has been dangerous for Nidalee players, especially if you're on Dignitas.
Yeah, say that again. Rift Herald has an interesting history with this particular champion. But we do have Yejin with a pretty massive lead here. This will be first brick as well, up in the top lane. Very well done by Flash, looking pretty good in this game after they had a bit of a weak early game.
Yeah.
There's a few plates going down in the bottom
It,
lane, but
it has actually come from different lanes than we were anticipating. We looked at Lucian Yumi and thought, okay, Lucian Yumi will win lane. They will play around bot lane maybe. They have actually completely abandoned the Lucian Yumi and go top lane all the time.
yeah. And I mean, it's working out
Yeah.
so far. Jisoo is putting himself very firmly on the unofficial cast shit list by building Stormrazor on Pressy Tac Kaiser.
And
Great
now,
decision there.
will we see
Left
another weird 3v2 play? Look at the damage on Zodiac. Zodiac might just die. Does he
Yeah,
have Aftershock
Optimus.
available is the question here.
What?
Wait, what?
What?
Where? What?
Hello? It was a 2v2 in the top lane. It's 1-for-1 so far.
Observer
has
is
no
once
mana?
again striking.
That was a 2-for-1 though. That was Flash coming out ahead. I would like to see a
No,
replay of that.
I actually think they didn't. They came out even because the shutdown went over. Yeah.
2-for-1 in that play.
Yeah. But I mean, shutdown still went over to the Nico player. So
True,
in terms of gold, I think it was still probably the even trade. But it's great to have more gold on your top laner who has built items.
He's built swords. Lots of swords.
Yeah, many great
Slater's
items.
getting caught out here, the bushmate, but should be alright. Oh no, what am I talking about? Genza's not on his team. Slater, you're not alright. CBL, Optimus, you got to get there. Save the cat.
Yeah. Nice. CBL gets away.
Operation Yumi Rescue was a success. Optimus, you are a hero.
Yeah, so now CBL doesn't have to flame his ADC for killing him. Well, that's nice to see. Better for the team synergy as well.
Oh, Yejin, what are you doing? He just went into a blue buff. What is this TP? What is going on? He stole it! He got the blue!
Oh, no. Optimus gets the kill as well.
What?
Okay, this game has gone completely crazy. What's actually going on? I'm very sorry.
What is going on?
Every day is dying. Please, please, brain machines, come back alive. Come back alive.
What is going on? This is so long ago.
So the E doesn't even land.
so
Genza with a very great flash, and yeah, that's just a solo kill from Genza. Hero didn't do anything.
Oh, what?
Yeah, very deserved double kill for the cat.
Double kill.
Actually, Yumi double kill is super great in the early game.
Yeah, it is. Yumi scales pretty well with AP. It's really not that bad. But what happened there?
Yeah, no idea. I mean,
we don't have
top and mid
time
laner
for
getting
replay.
caught by Yumi. I'm not sure how that's ever going down. We'll have to see. I hope we get a little bit of time to look at how Yumi got the glorious kills and did all the damage herself. Yeah, look at this again. Slater with the Yumi there. They wanted to catch Taurus, but didn't pay attention at all to Yumi. And yeah, Genza, that's not how you play against
Very good
the
play.
Yumi.
Zodiac is just in the middle of the river, Goodbye.
As I said before, we almost don't have
QG.
time for any replays because there are kills happening everywhere. We are at 1 kill per minute still. Finally going back to the VCS usual statistics. No slow games here. We are in game
This
3.
is very, very VCS.
Yeah, it's needly jungle and it's 16 kills at 60 minutes. You couldn't pick a more VCS game, I think. This is probably what we can hang out as a poster to represent this region, because this is exactly what happens here all the time, right?
This is just ridiculous. I don't know. We went from 2 very well played games, each team really showing off how good they were at League of Legends, and now here we are in game 3.
A little bit of a fiesta. Everyone has turned off their brain machines, just going full instinct, full mechanics, and yep, I guess Flash comes out on top in that contest. 4K ahead, we'll get another dragon probably, as Optimus tries to catch Zodiac.
Should. Yeah, gets a little bit of damage down. Not really the target you want to be going in on,
Wait, look at Optimus's build. What am I seeing?
What? Whoa, that is a...
He has played too much Niku. He thought, okay,
what
Niku...
is happening?
Oh, enemy Niku gets to build this great item. I want this item as well. Wait, I'm LeBlanc? I don't care.
It's really interesting. It's really interesting because something I've wanted to do on my stream for quite a long time. Unfortunately, I can't stream at the moment. When I can, I've been really thinking about trying to do like a Bronze League casting thing, and I'm really glad we could get a preview of that today.
Shade thrown at the VCS top team here in Flash. They might actually go to 4-1 and tie for first place.
Look, that is a Super Soaker LeBlanc. Jace is just carrying swords.
Many swords. I think he has many different swords. That's nice.
Exactly. It's just swords everywhere.
He can use the smaller swords, named Longsword very aptly, by the way. Just, I don't know, stick them somewhere? Which are the small swords in this case? I think Yomu's is probably pretty big, right?
Yeah, Yomu's
Hexdrinker looks a little bit more...
Yeah, Hexdrinker is almost like it's like a little dagger.
I have to say, Executioners doesn't look too small either. Don't know where he puts the Executioners here.
I think maybe he just like has slots in his hammer. Like it's pretty high tech.
Oh yeah, right. Maybe the hammer. Look at the thing. It has 3 floating things around the hammer, so maybe you can juggle 3 swords there.
Maybe, man. You know, a game is great when we're thinking about where Jace puts his swords.
I mean, what's there to talk about? This game has been an absolute mess.
We just have to wait for the next fight. Like, we could talk about what teams should do, what their win conditions are, but they're not playing to them. No. So why should we talk about them?
It's still QG, Group S5 at 30 minutes at win. There's not a whole lot to say about their win conditions. Try to not fall behind further compared to Flash, which will absolutely happen as we, if you go by what happened so far in the game. But yeah, I don't think there's too much analysis to be done. Why? Jisoo, just engage. Okay, that was surprising. And there's a lone Yumi warding. That's not something you want to see either. Yumi, please go back to your ADC.
Yeah, you need to get to that. You need to get
to
someone.
Look at her speed.
This cat is very lost. Begging Slater to come to the wall.
She's so lost. Oh man.
Please, someone help the cat.
I think Yumi is the greatest addition to the league that has ever happened to me. I love the champ so much. I love talking about the champ. I love playing the champ. It's such a great experience.
I love watching the champ. I could go without playing against her, but also I think this recall with her Battle Academia skin is one of the best in the game. It's so good. Unfortunately, we're not seeing it because they are checking the Fog of War, but Baron is spawning, and
we see Lich Bane on Yijin. Actually, on 3 items already, so Yijin is insanely far ahead. Look at the CS as well, quietly going farther and farther ahead in the meantime. My god, he's up 50 CS on the enemy jungler, and he has more CS than his mid laner and the enemy mid laner, and the same CS as the enemy top laner. Only his top laner is toppling him.
pretty ridiculous Nidalee performance. As we said, pathing on Nidalee has been great. The mechanics,
Micro.
we've spotted a few little mistakes.
Yeah, if you want to learn Nidalee, look at this game for pathing, but never look at the actual screen. Only look at the minimap, and then look at something that Sorn played for mechanics probably, because mechanics for Yijin in this game not too clean. Sadly, a little bit off there. Especially on the jump. I think the W has failed multiple times already in the game. And the more interesting question than who wins the game, because that's probably Flash, what is LeBlanc building now? But hold the thought.
Yijin just dies. CBL will be claimed that 2-for-1 chicken bucket.
Yeah,
Lovely
double cat.
Optimus tries to get... Ooh! Hero only just surviving there before that heal goes off. Where do we even go from this? This is 2 kills back for QG, which is actually a massive blessing.
Yeah, but they are still 5k gold behind. I mean, they thwarted the Baron attempt from Flash. Flash could have snowballed into the Baron if they got 1 or 2 kills. But yeah, in the end, the 2 kills will not do a whole lot, especially because Yijin didn't have to invest his Flash. So he's still pretty fine. A little bit of gold back. Yeah. It's obviously good for QG, and they delay the game even longer.
Hex. This is Hex Flash LeBlanc.
Wait, what? Optimus has gone crazy. I don't understand what's going on with Optimus.
This is Hex Flash LeBlanc.
No, this is Hex Tech Super Soaker LeBlanc.
I'm so
I don't understand.
I didn't even notice that until now.
I mean, we kind of thought about a LeBlanc for Optimus, a little bit weird choice because usually he goes utility, but I guess if you play LeBlanc like this, she's a utility champ, right?
Sure.
I mean, she can provide AoE slow. That's insane utility, I think.
But then why not run Glacial Augment if you're going
I'm kind of confused by that as well.
I don't know, but in terms of actual things that we do understand, is Baron being started up here.
Yeah, and look at Seal's reset timing. Seal absolutely botched this. Why? Flash! Oh man, Flash.
Why did they get out?
Yeah, I have no answer for you, because they are...
What were they scared of? The enemy jungler wasn't there.
I mean, they had no vision on Seal, so fair enough, they didn't know where Seal was, but... I think they could have just sustained the Baron damage, no? They have 2 heals in their team.
Yeah, you'd think, especially like Athene's, like double Athene's. Ooh, Zodiac's
man,
in trouble,
that hurts.
Yeah, Zodiac, you're going down. The ult onto Slayer is not going to do anything. It was a little bit of a waste, but may as well use it. It's going to be pretty much up by the next time you need it. But this should be Baron now, 4v5. Please go to Baron Flash and just do it.
Jesus, no TP. He's very far back. But this is super dangerous for QG. QG needs to contest the Baron.
Yep.
And they are out of position. Look at the Nautilus has spawned at least. I guess, yeah, that's true.
But it's on 3,000 health. Their jungler's not even there. Hero throws himself in, hits a pretty good Hemo play. He'll get a big heal here.
And
but
no one is there to follow
goes
up.
down. Hero goes down. Gens is probably next on the chopping block if they can catch him, and they can. Taurus throws himself forward, brings down the hammer, uses all those swords. Bang! Down goes the Nico. Oh no.
Yeah, and Flash had enough of the madness, and they want to close out the game finally. Day has been long enough for them, and they had a lot of fun this game. I think both teams actually had a lot of fun, especially Yijin there and CBL as well. CBL on a very great Yumi performance. Taurus finally looking like a very good top laner in this game as well. He has had a lot of criticism coming his way, but yeah, showing 2 very good games.
Absolutely. He's looked really good this series. Yijin almost caught there, but does manage to just hop over the wall. No worries. We should see the base being broken here. This is very much a Flash game here. If they were to lose from here, it would be one of the greatest mysteries of League of Legends as to how they managed it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's almost impossible. I think you can probably put in high plat players and they would still win, because from this position, this is ridiculous.
Probably. This is quite the lead. Sub us in, Flash, just mid-game. Sub me and Yulwei in, we'll be fine. Even
I want to play this Yumi. Let me play Yumi alongside Slater, please.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'll take over this Italy. Just a little bit of a lead. I'm sure I'll be fine. But yeah, this should be one more reset. There'll probably be just a little
And
bit
now
more
look at
clearing.
LeBlanc's items. What is she going for?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, why not, right? It's so random.
He's doing ultimate bravery.
I
He's
think
got
so too.
ultimate bravery up on his other monitor. This was such a poorly thought out contest. Like Hero goes in so
Look at
late.
Jisoo in
There's
this
no
fight.
point.
Jisoo hits the
Has he
trap.
auto attacked?
Nope.
He didn't auto attack.
Yeah,
He
he
queued once.
queued
Yeah.
once, not a single auto attack, got wrecked by Taurus, and now Genza does not hit
Yeah.
anything either.
Nope.
Oh
Just
man, what a sad performance from QG in game
ugh.
3.
Oh, QG, someone hit the play. Oh, Jiso, I don't know if you wanted to go over the wall there, champ. You're in some trouble. Hero's here. Hero's actually had a quietly good performance this game. He's been trying so damn hard.
Oh
2 kills coming
no!
in, slapping them with the wallets.
Oy, oy,
Taurus
oy.
picks up the triple kill. This will be the game. My God, QG, you looked good in game 1.
Yeah, we have to
That's
give
all
him
I can
that,
say.
right? Also, Flash looked horrible in game 1, so QG's performance impressed us in game 1, but maybe it was more Flash actually looking horrible. So,
Yeah.
Flash turning it around, getting the 2-1 victory. A little bit disappointing still. I think they eyed the 2-0. Had a lot of fun in the last game, and I'm not sure how to think about the last game because it was League of Legends. That's for sure. We
It
saw a game
was.
of League
It
of
was.
Legends.
We did. We saw a game of League of Legends.
We saw LeBlanc
Sorry to
building
everyone.
items.
Hex slash LeBlanc with a super
Slash
soaker.
LeBlanc. Oh my god. It's so. Slash LeBlanc is so random. I'm not sure what's more random, the Hex Slash or the Hextech GLP 800 whatever thing.
The ridiculous name. I have absolutely.
I mean, the combination
no
of the
idea.
two is really what pushed it over the top, right? It's
Yeah.
Optimus really.
I mean, a Hex Splash? What?
I mean, Optimus has played the game for forever, so he's probably not too keen on playing regular season games, and he just thought to himself,
Yeah,
okay,
I mean,
I have
like,
Slayer in my team, I have Taurus on Jace, I have Yijin on Nidalee. These 3 should be enough to carry a game against QG, right? So I can do whatever I want. 2 words
yeah, and
I
I mean,
didn't
he
want
got
to
the
say on
win.
broadcast there. And
So in the VCS, Hex slash LeBlanc has a 100% win rate.
yeah, so obviously very overpowered, as well
It's the best
as
build.
Nidalee failing every spear and jump. 100% win rate as well. Very strong.
Uh,
But
yeah,
to talk
yeah.
about the members of the Flash team that have performed well in the game 3, I think Taurus stood out. And CBL was with a very good Yumi performance as well. Yumi sometimes goes down. I mean, she had 2 deaths in this game as well. But, I mean, Yumi can't really do a whole lot
That's
about dying. The rest of her
no,
play was
that's
super
the
good.
reality. Yeah, I think he had a super. I think CBL had a super good performance. Taurus as well. I think it's between those two for MVP for me.
Yeah, it's hard to choose.
Yeah, I think.
I mean,
I mean, I
I
think.
really want to give it to CBL, but I think the game impact still was a little bit higher on Taurus' side.
All right, let's go with Taurus
I
then.
think to be fair to him, I think it has to be Taurus, even though I love Yumi
Yeah.
and I love CBL, and I think CBL
Yeah,
has.
I'll be the voice of reason because I know you're biased towards the cat.
Yeah.
So let's
I
give
love
it
the cat.
to Taurus.
Yeah, but not to CBL. He has not gotten a single game MVP, but at least we had him on our list of best supports for the first 2 weeks,
Yep.
and he's still continuing to perform well alongside Slater. Slater coming back in didn't look too great today. Was okay. First game
Yep.
didn't look that on top of his game. I mean, he still needs to get back to his week 1 form, I think. But overall, Flash secures the victory as expected. A little bit more of a struggle than we anticipated. And they tie Loki and DBL for 4-1. Their game score now sits at, let me think, they're at 6-0, then 7-2, and now 9-3. So +6, which should be first place, tied with Loki.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I mean, I think super fun series of games. All 6 games tonight was super fun.
Yeah, the league has gotten super interesting now because there are 3 teams tied for first place with 4-1, and then a very intriguing GAM looking at the to be on the upswing at 3-2, sitting behind them. Those are for our 4 playoff teams right now. If we would have playoffs right now, I think everyone could actually contest for the win. I would actually say Loki right now has the lowest chance of winning the title if we would play playoffs right now. And for me, it would be between. It's hard to say, but I think
Very hard to say.
Gum, DBL, and Flash might all be on the same level actually. If they played best of fives against each other, I have no idea whom I would bet on.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gum looked super impressive tonight.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I'm not. It's super difficult to make the call. We'll have to just wait and see. There's quite a few weeks left. Got to worry as well. Once Zeros comes back, what happens with Gum?
Yeah, next week will be the time. And tomorrow we'll see more Gum. Luckily for us, we get to assess them even more in tomorrow's games. Let's look ahead. We get to see a series between EVOS and GAM, so another mid-tier team against another mid-tier team. EVOS sitting at 2-3 with a pretty bad performance against Loki yesterday, and GAM looking super good today. Those two against each other is the first game of the first series of the day, I should say. And then DBL gets to play against Cerberus. That should be a very quick affair, very easy game for DBL.
Absolutely. It'll be very interesting to see how Gum shapes up. I hope today wasn't just a flash in the pan. I hope they keep going.
Yeah, they are a super interesting team to watch, and they do so much crazy stuff. I think this league profits very much from them and their insane playstyle, their intriguing drafts, and their swapping of positions and players. Yep. Oh, Team Flash is actually one game behind Loki, so my math was not correct there. I'm sorry. Once again, got caught by the big problem of doing math on stream.
Very difficult, but regardless, very close behind Loki. It's just that game difference.
And they will play each other. Last game of this week will actually be Flash against Loki for first place. Because if everything goes as we would expect it to go, DBL winning against Cerberus tomorrow, then we have Flash against Loki on Sunday, second series on Sunday. We'll decide which team can tie up the score of DBL at 5-1 at the end of the week.
Yep, that makes sense. Well, I think I'm a little bit just blown away by the games tonight. They were very interesting.
Yeah, super great series. We saw 2-1 victories and very interesting drafts and play. Some a little bit derpy, some very good, especially in the first series. Yep. If you have missed the very good first series, go back and watch it. It was probably the best series so far in the VCS. Will be uploaded on Twitch as well as on the YouTube channel. You can find that in the panel description below the channel. So just click on the link if you want to see it on YouTube. You can also watch the videos on Twitch, just on the video tab.
Exactly. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I think we had a good time. We had a very good time.
I had a blast, and see you guys tomorrow.